Hello, PTG Universe. Thank you guys so much, and girls, for tuning us on today's episode. We have none other than Dalton Vanderbyl, who is one of the best Dorito players to ever play the game, and just an all-around outstanding dude. One of my best buddies. Absolutely love him and his family, and we're super stoked to have him on the show. He is playing for Dynasty again in the 2020 World Cup, and we cannot wait to get practices going and get out to that tournament. So we're super excited to tell you his story and all the details of what's been going on with Dalton. Today's show is brought to you by Heal Brand CBD powerhouse. These guys are amazing. Absolutely love working with them. They're making the best CBD products on the market, hands down, and I can say that with confidence. They have what is called nano CBD. It is water soluble, has the ultimate absorption rate into the body, and is true nanotechnology. And what nanotechnology is that I didn't even really know about until recently this year, it's raw hemp oil that is put through an additional refinement process to break up the large CBD particles and turn them into microscopic greatness that are more easily received through your cell walls. Instead of traditional CBD taking, days, hours, a long time to get into your system and start to take effect, Nano CBD takes effect immediately. They have amazing products. They have Nano Amp energy shots. They have Nano CBD Knockout, which is spectacular. It has nano hemp, melatonin, natural flavors. Myself and the wife have really been enjoying that after a long day of work and parenting. It's nice to have a little nano knockout and just hit the bed and feel really good and get that quality sleep. They also have CBD for your pets and cool down creams for your muscles after good workouts. Really helps with that healing process. And that's what they want to do. That's their mission. They want to heal the world, and we want to help them on that mission. So everybody go check out healbrand.com. If you use code PLAYTHEGAME, you will get 10% off on any of the orders that you make, and it really helps us and helps them out as well. And we really appreciate all you guys who support us on the PTG podcast. Everyone deserves the opportunity to heal, and let's heal the world together. So that is an amazing company. Thank you, Heal Brand, for everything that you guys are doing. This show is also brought to you by the one and only Transfuse, which is the absolute best hydration multiplier on the market. Also, an immunity fortifying formula that is scientifically designed to replenish you at the cellular level. It's spectacular. It's unmatched. There's nothing out there like it. They use all natural ingredients, and it combats against dehydration, mental exhaustion, and supports your immune system, which is the most important thing you can be doing right now in the landscape that we're living in. Also, it's if you have a couple too many beers or something, it's a great hangover remedy for you guys out there, and it will have you feeling great. It's packed full of zinc, which is an essential vitamin in regulating immunity, treating the common cold, and improving brain function and memory. It also has 6 milligrams of vitamin B6 to help lower cholesterol, boost brain function, and aids in your body just feeling spectacularly good. 1,500 milligrams of vitamin C. It's used by everybody: athletes, festival goers, first responders, military service, and just people who are trying to prevent or recover from the common cold. You need this stuff. I'm not just saying that. We take it at the Harmon household every day, and it has helped us stay strong, healthy, and just vibrant and thriving. My kids love it. It tastes delicious. I love the Tropical Bliss. Marcelo is all about that watermelon lime. And I actually have been falling in love with the blueberry. It's really tasty stuff. All the flavors are great. Head on over to translabs.com. If you use code PLAYTHEGAME, you'll get 10% off. And they've also extended this awesome opportunity. If you subscribe to the monthly delivery service, you'll get another 11% off. So you could take advantage of 21% off on this product, and it makes it super affordable and gives you that edge on the paintball field in life and just keeps you thriving. So thank you, Transfuse, for everything you guys are doing. It's great to have when I'm out traveling, on the go, and just helps me stay healthy and vibrant for life. So thank you guys, Transfuse. You guys are amazing. This show is also brought to you by G2 Paintball. It is the best paintball athletics company in the world. There's nothing like it. There's never been anything like it. And they are helping paintball players train and maximize performance on and off the field. It is used by Dynasty, and we're pushing paintball players to become the best athletes they can be and hopefully use those techniques to go pro. We run through a regiment of all the movements that you use when you're playing paintball, and it's just going to make you as sharp as possible on the field. So head on over to g2paintball.com. Check them out. We have some training events that are coming up, so stay tuned for that. And they're always doing a bunch of fun stuff for the community. So a huge shout out to G2 Paintball. Like I said, go to g2paintball.com and check out what they're doing over there. And without further ado, let's hop in and hang out with Dalton. He's just such a great dude. One of the best people in paintball, hands down. We are so excited to have him back on Dynasty. And let's get rocking and rolling.
That was an insane inside move by Marcelo Margot. Great communication.
And the crowd starts chanting Harmon.
Great shot by all the guys. Tyler Harmon saved that game.
He came out with 2 wins. Marcelo Margot was on fire.
And we're live. Dalty. Welcome to the show, baby.
Yeah,
I miss you guys.
I know, bro. Welcome back, dude. Holy cow. It's been too long, man. What have you been doing?
Back in blue.
Yeah.
Just been
Dynasty.
working, dude.
Yeah.
Working, dad life.
Yes,
Ready to
sir.
get back out there and have some purpose for my big
Yeah.
ass to be running around.
Dude, we are so excited, man. Dynasty till the day you DIE, baby. You're back. You're back.
Told you.
Dalton Vanderbyl, number 24, bringing the does this mean that I can't wear my Kobe patch
yeah, I
on
saw
my
that.
headband now? I don't know what this means. I'm wearing it
that's-
anyway, so
That's crazy too, because I have so much respect for Kobe, and I was like, dude, I need to just change my number altogether just to let that number retire with the legend. But I don't know, it's me too, and I had it before him, so it's mine. But I was wondering if I should change my number too, though.
I kind of like that you pay homage to him, you know.
I like it. Don't change that.
Yeah.
Dalty, let us know where you're reporting from. Let the people know where you're at right now.
All right, so I'm in Susanville, California, y'all.
There we go.
And it's 80 miles northwest of Reno would probably be the best way to explain it. I don't even know where I am, to be honest. It's a little mountain town. I think there's like 8,000 people.
Whoa.
My wife's going to a doctor's appointment today. She has to drive like 100 miles.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like
but
crazy.
you're providing, you're taking care of the family. You guys have you're a correctional officer, and you have to wrangle these wild inmates, right? Tell us a little bit about what you do on the daily.
So the cliff notes for the last 2 years, which kind of ties paintball back into it and why I need it. But it's been tough. It's like, so I was living in Reno, so I was doing an 1.5-hour commute to work.
Jesus. Were you gambling a lot?
No. Just fantasy football, which I'm killing
There
it
you
right
go.
now. Marsh, you know.
Dude, this is a terrible year for me, man. My goodness. We're gonna have to talk about some trades, by the way. I think you need you need a QB.
I got a good team this year.
You need a
There we
QB though.
go.
You'd be real dominant. And
I do need a QB.
Yeah. I
had
Cam.
San Diego. Boy, he crushed it last night.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I've been doing it for work. The first year, you're going to eat dick the whole year, pretty much.
Yeah.
You're going to work the hours no one wants to work, do the shit no one wants to do.
That's right.
And on top of that, like, I would do the 1.5-hour commute, 1.5-hour back. But there's days where I'd be working and I'm like an hour getting ready to get off, my shift. And they'd be like, hey, you got to work another shift.
Jeez.
So I'm like, so then I have 8 hours in between my next shift. So I have to, in 3-hour commute. So I got like 5 hours of in between.
Dude, just
sleep.
stop and sleep.
Yeah. There was days I just slept at the Walmart in my shit and went back.
Whoa.
So dude, the first year was like, it was stressful, man. And
And
top of that, I had a newborn and a toddler. So Tyler knows how
dude,
that is.
I can relate with you on that, Dalty, because I was running my own company in Modesto, and there was sometimes I wouldn't see my kids at all. I would. That's why I'm so grateful to, first of all, have you back on the team so we can like have daddy power. You know what I'm saying? And then, but grateful for the opportunity I've presented myself of getting out here to Phoenix, because Dude, and I think we're trying to wrangle you out here too. We're
Yeah.
gonna get you to AZ boy and get you stationed out here pretty
Hey,
soon.
I like that.
And
I like
I'm following up in your footsteps, dude.
There we go. Let's go,
Phoenix
baby.
Dynasty is on the rise.
Oh yeah.
Phoenix
Heck
Dynasty.
yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
It's coming.
real quick, just because we usually give a proper intro, either Tyler or myself, and I just kind of hit us with the
Yeah,
live
man.
thing. But
Yeah.
man.
Marcelo caught me off guard there.
I liked it. We were rolling. It's early in the morning. I like it. I think I caught myself off guard, but
And it better be a good one, a lot better
Dude.
than Ryan's.
Yeah. That's natural. Dalton is one of the best attackers the game has ever seen. Won world championships on some of the top teams to ever be part of the game. I mean, talk about Dynasty first and then Impact. I mean, those are two of the best teams ever. I think that's probably 1A and 1B is the conversation right now. You know, with
Damage. I
Russian
mean,
Legion.
he had a nice little story on Damage as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Were you on that team that year, Tyler, at World Cup? What year was that year?
I was on the Damage in like 2011 or somewhere in there.
Yeah,
it was early in my career.
Gotcha. But like I said, you've played for some of the most storied franchises, and really the biggest reason you stepped away from the game wasn't a lack of passion or love for paintball. It was to take care of your family, pursue a new career outside of the game, and put in your time, as you spoke about, you know, that year of kind of service, of doing all the shitty stuff. And you know, I think everybody is excited to hear that you're back. Incredibly stoked about the game. I don't think anybody's more excited than the guy sitting right here and the people on Dynasty. But, welcome back, dude. We are so stoked to have you, man. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts. As a friend, like, it just sucked not having you around to tell jokes, be the fun guy, and on the field, man, any team needs you.
Yeah,
that was pretty good, dude. I'm good.
There we go,
I was gonna give you shit, but you crushed it. And no, I gotta give you two probably the biggest credit for even me coming back. Tyler probably doesn't even know what. Well, we just talked about it, but Marcelo, you know, I've always been in touch with you, and I never had intentions to retire. I never even spoke those words. It was like you said, I had that year where I had to figure my work stuff out. And then I was back. So, and then just keeping in contact with you guys. Tyler, I think you're the only person I've seen since I've been up here for the last year and a half. We met in Reno.
Nice. Dude, that was the best. We lost a little bit of money, had some good
we
dinner.
lost 100.
Oh no.
And then like you said, like with our wives being in
oh dude, they're best friends.
Contact. And that's one of the reasons I get to go to Cup is because now she's scheduled to meet Sarah in Arizona when you take off. So
that's right.
Dude, that's perfect. That's perfect.
Dude, it's
shout
amazing.
Out to Jack. Shout out to Sarah, the ladies of the team, the team moms. Eventually, they're gonna have to be coming to the events, you know, supporting and have the whole family there. My goodness, dude, Dynasty has a
we got family
future.
now.
Yeah,
big family. We got big family.
I love
it's amazing, dude. Yeah, and dude, they're literally best friends. They talk all the time. They're like super excited. They're renting a minivan. They're all stoked about it. And like, you have two boys. I have two boys.
It's perfect.
You know, it's gonna be a good thing. They can hang out and be little buddies and rock around. And who knows, maybe start a team someday. We'll see, huh?
Yeah, and then we could keep splitting wigs on the paintball field and even off.
That's right. That's right. Oh man, yeah, we've had some war stories off the field too. With early on.
I wish we could tell those stories, man.
Oh yeah, well, just a cliff note. It happened in PB. Me and Dalton had to get down. There was like 5 of them, a couple of us, and they thought we were MMA warriors, dude.
and they deserved it. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
man.
That's right.
They deserved it.
I was eating my food, and you know. This is before my wife and everything. We had some Chicanas with us, having a good time, and these dudes got a little jealous. Yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But that's another day. You know, we're grown ass men now with families and everything.
And that was celebrating a win that we had, which we had a few that year, and that was 2012. I want to say that was a good year.
Yeah, 13.
Was it 13?
Yep. Yeah, dude. And we're about to stack some more chips up here soon.
Yeah, we are. Let's get one this year and take them all down for the next few years.
So, dude, I have to ask, this can't be the only tournament you're playing with us, right?
No. I told Ryan, well, I want to see if I could beat Ryan in longevity wise.
Yeah, I like that.
I told Ryan 3 years. I'm 31. I think we're all 31.
He's got 3 years. Is that what you told him?
Yeah. He's like, dude, you got more than that. And So let's see. I don't know.
Wait, if you want to beat Ryan in longevity,
It might be
you have to
longer
go.
than that.
You have to go more than 3
Yeah.
years. Ryan's already 41, 42.
Well,
No,
Dalton
yeah. I just mean like not in age, but just being
Mhm.
around for
Yeah.
Ah.
Gotcha.
Yep. Yeah, he's got about 3 left in him. He'll be
Yeah,
good.
he's gonna
No,
snap
Ryan.
soon.
Ryan.
Listen, Ryan will
he's
keep
a monster.
surprising people, man. He will
Yeah.
keep surprising people somehow. I don't know
Well, he's
how,
just-
but he's just he's gonna keep doing it. So it's like
He's
Tom
gonna
Brady.
do it to spite everybody.
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
like Tom Brady. Every year they're like, oh, this is the year. This is the decline. And then he has maybe one bad game. It's like, see, I told you.
Yeah.
And then he comes out the next game, throws 5 touchdown passes, just looks dominant as
It
ever.
would be one thing if he sucked, but he does not suck. He's
does not
even
suck.
close. Yeah.
And he
No,
looks
he's-
faster than ever. I mean, he's
Yeah.
never been that
quick.
fast compared
He's
to my
working.
standards.
Yeah.
But.
Do you think you'll be faster than Ryan at the first practice back?
Oh yeah, I'll bet him all the money in a race.
There we go.
All right, that's coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah, we're
I've
gonna
been
do
I've been running, but
nice.
but I was wondering that personally because I haven't played that much, and paintball is hard on the body, of course, we all know, and I wonder if I do need to slow myself in, but I don't know. I'm gonna, whatever.
No, don't slow it in. Just do a hard
take it,
thrust.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just
Just
make
get
sure
in
your
there.
body's prepared for it.
Yeah.
As we get older, you look at even like LeBron. LeBron is as dominant as ever, in my opinion, and it's just the way he takes care of his body. I'm not even a big LeBron fan. I think you guys both know that, but you can't deny his dominance and how he takes care of his body. And it's really comes down to that, dude. 31. We're all still 31, 30, we're all still really young, actually, especially nowadays with the things that you can do as far as nutrition, the stuff we know about physical therapy and rehab. The way to take care of yourself has increased the longevity of a lot of athletes, so make sure you're doing stretches,
bro.
biometrics, all the good stuff.
And the breathing. I've been reading so much about this.
Oh, yeah.
They actually did these studies about the longevity of life is directly correlative to the size of your lungs, how big your lungs can get.
Every time I hear someone talk about breathing, I want to breathe.
Yeah, I know, dude.
Yep.
And I've just been, they did a study on like thousands and thousands of people and how long they lived. And it was like the deciding factor of longevity was the breath, the size of the capacity of your breathing.
That story about that guy that was on Rogan's podcast, and he was talking about how you're breathing and the mouth breathers.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it elongates your face.
Yep.
I thought of one person. I'm not going to say their name, but
Oh no.
but like, dude, that must be true because the
Dude.
quote unquote mouth breathers, they
Yeah,
all
it's
kind of
real.
have the same look. Yeah.
It's real, dude. I even brought, dude, I look like a damn goofball, bro. I bought this thing that helps me not mouth breathe, it kind of like
I
keeps
need
my
that.
mouth closed because I have a tendency when I sleep to little slack jaw, little open mouth breathing, so I'm trying not to do that. It's the nose. There's even these receptors in your nose that change you on a molecular level with these special receptors that you have in your nose that you're supposed to breathe in through your nose and never through your mouth because it actually has been shown to have health problems that can be correlative to that. Yeah, it's pretty nuts when you think about it. So yeah, you got your nutrition, you got your working out, and then when you add in that breathing and you put all that together, you're gonna have some powerhouse stuff going on.
It's everything, right? It's a little bit of
That's right.
doing anything there is out there that can make you feel better, be healthier, recover better. I'm down to try it, and
Totally.
so much of it is
Yeah.
work.
Heck yeah, man.
It's usually not just like one thing that is the end all be all. It's a culmination of a bunch of little things that add up to,
Yes.
longevity and good health, prosperity, all that kind of stuff,
Totally.
That was actually a thing I wanted to dive into because there was a few years. I don't know. There's so much love and hate for this game for me, which of course you guys know because you started at a young age and been through it all too. But so for instance, the year I played with Damage, literally we had 5 tournaments and 2 practices before each event, right?
Wow.
So I played 15 weekends of paintball that year, which is
Yeah.
So
Wow.
you guys always talk on the show like hard work and
Yeah.
and getting out there and getting after it, and I'm not proud of that, but a big thing for me, and I know a lot of your listeners might relate to this, is like if you can't get out to the field, there's always stuff you could do. And
Hmm.
paintball, like you said, stretching, not
Hmm.
for like prevented injuries and stuff, but like just being flexible, like stretching every
Yeah.
day, every night,
Yeah.
because you're gonna get in awkward positions,
That's right.
and it is gonna help your injury. You're gonna
Hmm.
be able to bend in ways you shouldn't be able to sometimes if you do it right. But
Yeah.
and then there's also like working out and weightlifting and
Hmm.
running sprints and being cardiovascular. It's got to be on point. And
Yep.
then of course, the mere snap shooting drills that Marcelo's knows about.
Yeah. Dude, you're right, Dalton. It's kind of like the best way I can describe paintball is almost like martial arts.
Hmm.
You have to be able to contort yourself and get into these really weird
Yeah.
body positions, whether you're playing the Dorito, the snake side, up the middle, you're going to find yourself in these situations where you got to get tight,
Yep.
and you got to snap shoot out of this weird posture. And the only way that you can effectively do that and have a long career is by, like you said, doing the stretches, doing the yoga, and then also coupled with like the endurance and the strength training and all that kind of stuff. It all plays a role in being the best athlete you
Yep.
can be out there.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Um,
It's
and,
power.
and with paintball, it's also such a mental game that when you're doing that kind of stuff, it boosts your confidence,
Yes.
And
Yes.
some people do like to argue that you shouldn't need a confidence boost, but everybody can use a confidence boost,
Yeah.
And
Dude,
so
give it to me.
it's such a silly, it's a silly argument in my opinion. But
Yeah.
when you're dedicating and sacrificing time to do stuff, to work towards a certain goal, you're less likely to give up easily. If you're in a deep
Mhm.
match, come Sunday and you're down points, you just have a little more in your tank mentally, not
Hmm.
even physically. Physically, you do obviously, but mentally, you have more in your tank because you know what you've sacrificed in order to work for that goal. But
Yeah.
if you don't put in much work for something, it's really easy to say, we'll try again next time, you know? And
Mhm.
and that's something that people don't really understand unless you've brought in yourself to the depths of some intensive training, seriously, where you're just absolutely beat, and you're fighting against yourself to continue to sweat and work,
Yeah.
those conversations you have with yourself are interesting. They really are.
Mhm.
Sometimes there's a little bitch in there. I like the way Rogan puts that. I find myself
Yeah.
doing it too. He's like, there's a little bitch voice in the back of my head that says,
Yeah.
hey, you don't need to work out today, or you don't need to do a few more reps. You go and
Yep.
you
Yeah.
dominate that voice, and it feels good. It really does.
And I think I don't want to say it's flack, but I've had people talk to me about not trying hard enough or not caring enough. And one, it's obviously my personality, and I
Mhm.
think that's actually helped me in many ways.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
there were years, like you guys know, like in the gym. Let's just say the gym. There was days I was going like 2 days a week, 5 hours a day. Like I would practice Sunday night, drive home to San Diego, and or drive home from San Diego and then go to the gym. Like I took that very serious.
Real, real,
And
real,
Mhm.
real quick, Dalt. You
go
said
ahead.
2 days a week. I think you meant 2 times a day.
Yeah, 2 times a day. I
Yes.
meant.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
bad.
No, it's
Two
all good.
times
Yeah.
a
Just want to
day.
make sure the
So like,
listeners know because you were balling.
yeah. So
Yeah.
and people. I don't know. At that time, I don't think weightlifting and like lifting weights was that big into paintball. I
Right.
don't know. Do
It
you guys
wasn't.
think it
It
wasn't? And
wasn't.
like,
It
No.
wasn't back then.
no.
There was a few people, and the Russians were an organization that were big into fitness, and that was
Yeah.
kind of what gave them an edge early without the experience.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of our generation. Mouse even was a kind of a pioneer. I don't want to go and name off a bunch of people because I don't want to leave people out, but you're right. It
Right.
wasn't a big thing in the game.
Yeah.
And that was one of the reason when I talked to Damage and they gave me the money, and I was like, why me? And I never really thought when I left Dynasty, I was like, you guys don't even need me. Like in my mind, I'm like, what? I'm making money. Like you guys don't need me. I'm
Mhm.
whatever. I didn't think I was all that in a bag of whatever. But when they told me they were gonna give me money, I was like, why? And they're like, dude, you're like the fastest guy I could think of from bunker to bunker. And that was all from, working out
Sure.
and doing that. But
Absolutely. And I think, dude, this is crazy because we've all been a part of the Aftermath camp. And I know early on in my career, when I played with Aftermath, me and Mouse, this is prior to today. Now there's way more people doing
yeah.
athletic training. There's
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
bar has been raised. But at
Yeah.
that
Hmm.
time, we were the precedents. We were the
Yep.
ones that were
Absolutely.
setting
The
that
first.
tone and and making it a new normal, which it is today, which is amazing because we need that. We need
Mhm.
paintball to be as legitimized as possible, and we need real athletes out here. And look, it's not for everybody. I understand that. And you know, I have so much respect for all forms of paintball. I have respect for the woods ball, recreational. If you want to go and have fun, that's fine. But what we're doing, we're taking this to the next level. And that's, you know, that's where we're
Well,
headed.
here's what I have to say too. I agree with you 100%, Tyler. But in all sports, and paintball's no different. It's just we're in the time where players that are more athletic, faster, quicker, stronger, better endurance don't have the experience to outplay us yet. But once that happens, players that don't also have the athletic ability will be obsolete in the game.
Yeah.
You know, you watch that progression in every sport. You'll have players that understand the mental side of it so well, they can get by, you know, and they you know, you could be in basketball 5'10", kind of Larry Bird style. Not saying he wouldn't do well today. I don't know, but the athletes are just so much more intense, you know, like
True.
it's it's really difficult to keep up when you have a physical disadvantage, you know, and paintball's in that kind of sweet spot right now where you don't have to be the most athletic, at least at the highest levels of tournament paintball, which is what we play. And there's all sorts of amazing types of paintball you can play. Scenario paintball, obviously, you know, you can run around in the woods and have a good time, 10-man stuff like that. But X-ball style paintball, you know, we're at a sweet spot where it pays to be athletic for sure, but you can still get by, you know, not being a premier athlete in comparison to other sports. But one day that's going to change. You know, we want that to change as well. We want the best athletes to be playing our game because it does legitimize things. And when that happens, you have to be ready to keep up with that.
Yeah, Frank Connell, come at me, bro.
Hey,
Bro,
you know, I was just
tank.
playing with him at 10-man actually with the a couple weeks ago.
I saw an old video of him and bunkering Oliver, and I don't know what was going
Chicago.
on. Dude,
That's from Chicago.
Bunkers, and then Oliver just goes and wins the game. It was weird.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
So weird.
I feel like Frank was on the short end of the stick so many times throughout his career.
So bad.
Hey, dude, I do want to go back real quick to your days with Dam, and then we're gonna dive into how you got into paintball, and all that. We'll start from the beginning of your story, but real quick about Damage, you said something interesting, and it was that you only played 15 times that year. The rest of the time you're like in the gym and doing other stuff. How do you think your year with Damage went that season?
Oh, that's funny that you brought that up. That was probably the worst year I had, to be honest.
Yeah, totally.
Why?
I think it
Why
was.
do you think that was?
I think obviously the playing less paintball, but and the reason I did play less paintball, it wasn't just you know, whatever, like we talked about, the love hate and all that. And I did feel like I had climbed the mountain and I was doing good and I was on top or whatever. But also my team's from Florida.
Right.
Like I'm not going to go play with you guys. Like, what am I going to, am I going to go to SC Village and play with nobodies or, I don't know. I mean, I could always do drills and figure it out if I really, really was motivated. But that year.
No, but you're right, dude. You have to have that connectivity. You know what I'm saying? You with your teammates. I remember when I was playing with Damage, it was crazy. You have to fly across the country.
Yeah.
You know, is nuts.
Just to practice. And it's like a lot, and it's West Coast to East Coast. So you get there and play at 7, which is 4 here. And it's like, you're not all, even when you're there, you're not there. And that was actually the other thing was for me and why I thought I had some success even before that. And, you know, you guys know on the aftermath days where we would grind like I wouldn't say every weekend, but let's just say 90% of the weekends of the year. And we would get there at 8, play one-on-ones and drills till 9. And then we would practice some of the best teams, Dynasty. And we would grind. And the biggest thing for me, I thought, what set me apart and what made me elevate faster was the nights before. Well, one, I never drank. I never liked to drink. I was never a drinker. So some of these aftermath guys, like they would drink, even if you had 3, 4, 5 beers, whatever, it's nothing to them.
It's doing damage.
It's long-term damage. And for me, I thought,
no pun intended.
Yeah. Short term, and then but so like I was always prepared at practice, full night rest. Like I don't know, I guess I just took myself serious in that aspect, But yeah, I thought that helped too.
Yeah, but that's why you're here, and that's why I'm here, and that's why Tyler's here, and that's why Mouse
Yeah.
is where he's at. You know, those are the four when we were younger. We all did the same kind of stuff. You know, it was that
Right.
preparation. You're right. The night before, like I showed up to practice fresh and ready to play, ready to compete, not, you know, a little unsure of myself, a little hungover. Granted, we
Yeah.
were also like 15 years old. So
Yeah, we're a little young. Yeah.
at this time, if that's when you're talking about the first run with Aftermath. But you know, that preparation is so crucial.
Yeah,
It is.
it's everything, man. You got to be sharp. You got to be ready to perform, and not only that, it's about being there for each other too. Like I want to be there for. I want to be the best I can for my organization, for my friends, so that when we step on the field, there's no loose links in the chain, and we got everything tight in it, and we're ready to rock these fools out there.
And that was one of the reasons why I called it quits with Aftermath. Is, well, there was other things, but it was like I didn't feel like people were taking themselves serious. Like in that environment, sometimes I would stay at their house because I wouldn't want to drive home, and they would just be drinking all night and raging.
Yeah,
And you know,
this was like 07,
after
08
you,
Aftermath,
yeah, I would
right?
say
yeah.
you were on. Yeah, it was
Iron Man.
when when they had that house in Escondido, that little condo.
Totally. Yeah.
So you know, they're doing their thing. There was nights where I was just like, "Fuck it, I gotta go sleep in my car because I can't."
Oh man.
But you know, and I was like, I wanted to take this serious, or I don't want to do it at all. And that was a year. It must have been 08, 09. Oh no, 06, 07.
Yep, that makes sense. But hey,
Dude,
Dalton, let's we have, dude. We've been in it a
Yeah.
long time. I mean,
yeah.
it's crazy. The time has, you know, it's gone incredibly fast, but incredibly slow at the same time, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean?
Well, I feel like we're all just getting started again.
I
You
know. This is
brand
the
new moment.
rebirth right here. Again, it's the Phoenix Rising.
There we go.
Dalt, let's dive into the start of your paintball career. What was your first time playing? Let's get into that whole fun story.
Is it a birthday party?
No, it's crazy that we don't even talk about this, and we've been playing together since we were one. But
I know.
it's the same story as you guys. Like my dad wanted to get out there and mess around, and we were like 10 minutes from SC Village. So the first time I actually went, I was
Shout out to
9.
Bill.
Yeah.
Thriller.
He was really good.
Does this mean we get him? Did we get him
he's back. Oh, you know what? He was planning to go to Florida, but I think with the COVID and the spectating and all that, I think he was just gonna opt out.
Okay.
So,
well, hopefully we could see him at some practices or something.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. But anyway, so I went out with the old man, and I was 9 the first time, and I think you had to be 10. But anyways, I had my hat backwards, so the little the thing was showing my forehead, and I got shot right in the forehead, and I cried, and I said, "No, this ain't it." I told my dad, and so I stopped playing, and I think when I was 12, I got back out there, and I was playing against grown ass men, dude. And there he is. Did I just?
Nope, you were good on my end. Sorry, listeners, we had a little bit of a connection issue. Tyler, can you hear us?
Yep, I'm here. We're good to go.
All right, I think we're good.
So yeah, so I didn't like paintball actually for a long time too. It's crazy, but
because you got smoked straight directly in the forehead.
Yeah. And I was a little kid. I was like, this stuff hurts. And my dad would wake me up like, hey, we're going to the field. I'm like, oh, I think I'm sick. It's like going to school. But he loved it. And I didn't really enjoy it until I started playing kids we had the Young Guns League. And that was when I was like 14. I think it was like a 14 to 16 bracket or whatever. And I was just like light years ahead of all these kids. And I was like, because I was used to playing these men. And that's when it was fun for me.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Totally.
I know that's how we all started. Is our old man took us out, and you know, that's some of the best memories of my whole life is getting to play alongside him. And you know, it's such a great bonding experience. I was scared shitless too when I started, bro. I was like, if I felt like I was the last one, I was like, oh hell no.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
dude,
5 of
the
them.
worst.
I can't believe that I used to do this. I mean, I was so stupid. It hurts so much more. But if I would be the last one alive, I would shoot myself in the foot. So I would shoot myself in the foot so I could call myself out. And it was just so funny because everybody knew. And I thought they didn't know, but every time I'd be the last one alive, I get shot in the foot, you know, but I would shoot myself and it would hurt so bad. And I'd be like, oh, at least I didn't get bunkered.
Or I remember the kids that would just like call themselves out and like, you weren't even hit, you pussy. My dad used to tell me, he was like, because I would, I'd be hiding in the back and then just get freaking, when we would lose the game, they would all just come down on you and you would get your wig split. So he would be telling me, you better like try to go play and try to win the game or try to, get up there. Otherwise you're gonna be the last dude. So.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
That's right, man. And that, that's a huge mantra even to this day on the pro field, if the chips are against you, don't sit down back there and get worked. Go get some, you know what I'm
saying? Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You got to go get it out there. This ain't no game.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's one part of my game that I don't know where that came from. It could have been that, but if I notice, we're down on chips and low on bodies, then I want to be, because the best part about this is no one could blame you for anything. If you're down 2-3 bodies and you go after it and let's say like 9 times out of 10, nothing's going to come of it. But that one time you pull it back, you're the hero. And those other ones, they're like, oh yeah, well, we were going to lose anyway. So yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Does depend on score and time,
and yes, there's time. Time is a big one. Yeah.
Of course. Like if you're up a couple points and there's 2 minutes left and you're down 2 on 5, you sit there and kill as much time as possible. But
which is crazy that time thing. Cause I've been watching a lot of paintball. And that's another thing you could do if, you can't get out on the field, but so many people don't play the freaking clock and it's so weird.
Yeah.
And even your guys' game against Revo, you guys were up and you had a lot of time. And but there's one thing I think, even if with a lot of time, like I forget the score. You guys might have been up 3 with 8 minutes or something like that. But like you guys won the breakout and if you win the breakout and you're winning points, so you're 4 on 5 and in the spots, it's like, yeah, you could go and win the game, but like they do have to come to you, and it's going to take a lot of time, Papa. And if they lose that point, now they lost that point, and it took a lot of time.
Totally. All you have to do is not lose a gunfight. You got to be smart and work with your teammates. You have the body advantage in those situations. That's something Impact did really well when you guys went on like the first run, is they would get a lead, and then they would put themselves in the situation they wanted by shooting a body off the break and then suffocate you. Hunker, and like that type of discipline is what wins tournaments. It's what wins championships, and paintball is so not wishy-washy, but it's so ever changing. The variables are constantly changing, and you could go into a play with the plan to attack, but then you get this certain advantage and you got to play that advantage. It's all about playing the advantages more than anything else,
Exactly.
And you can't really game plan for what advantage you're going to get. You could try to set up plays to give yourself a certain advantage, but that might not be the one that you do get, and you need to know how to play based off of the breakout, the first 15 seconds, even mid game. Like, it's all about playing the advantages 100%.
That's it, dude. That's where we came up with this whole name for our podcast. Play the game. It's like, you got to play the game. You got to play the situation. You got to play the clock. You got to play the people. You got to play the opportunities, right? Like you're talking about, Marcelo. It's like, it's all happening so fast as well. And you got to be the quickest to figure it out. Otherwise, those opportunities, those doors are going to close immediately and it'll be lost forever. And then you got to attack a whole nother opportunity or try to figure something else out. So it's a special game, dude. What we play here is pretty spectacular because even like Moorhead was saying, you're playing offense and defense at the same time. You're playing, your team, and then you're playing their team. You're trying to figure out all these variables. It's just it's an amazing thing we get to do here.
Yeah. And even with like the communication aspect, Impact was very good at that. And, but there's even a time and place for communication. It's like, are you wasting your time talking to me? Like, I already know the back center's hot.
Right.
Tell me something I don't know, it's like, but it's, I don't know. It's funny.
You're right.
You're right. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And communication obviously is the cornerstone of paintball. And you're right, Dalt. It's like, do I need this information? Can you be doing something else rather than wasting your time talking right now? Or can you get to a better spot? Like it's such a finicky type of game, and it's hard to be a master at this. I don't know that anybody has ever mastered this short of, Ollie was pretty damn good. I think he got the closest, and you have Lasoyas, you got these guys that were working on some other levels, but it's just such a hard game to master right here.
Indeed.
Paintball, baby.
So Dalt, let's dive back in. You had your time with the Young Guns, and then what was your next team? How did you get over to Circle Factory, then make your way to Aftermath, and then let's dive back in your story.
So yeah, the Young Guns. I found some new friends and new teammates. You guys remember the Shelton brothers?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I actually played against them, and Young Guns, and then my team was whatever, and my guys on my team weren't even that good. You know what's funny? Remember PJ, the company PJ?
Yeah. Paintball Junkies.
The owner of that team played on my team, or the owner's kid of that team played on my team, and he was god awful. Aren't they all, dude?
Yeah, they are. Dude, that's funny because I had a team called Die Kids, and Dave Youngblood, the owner of Die, his son played on the team, and paintball just wasn't really his thing.
That's so weird.
Paintball wasn't his thing.
Like in that the Texas movie with what's his face's son, like
Alex.
It's just I don't know. I feel like in any sport you're gonna have you're gonna have to like it, and there are some things you can't explain why people are just good at it. Like I mean, even if I played as much basketball as LeBron, I could never with my I couldn't be him, ever, no matter what. There has to be some weird things you can't explain. So that is a weird thing, but
yeah. So with your Young Guns team, was this 3-man?
Yeah, it was 3-man.
Nice.
And then we put that team together with the Shelton brothers, who actually, one of them actually went on and played with Dynasty, and
that's right.
That's right. He had a season or so, but
yeah.
Anyways, we played a tournament, and it was pretty cool. Not one of us, the whole tournament, got shot throughout the whole tournament.
That's rad.
And we found some other people from Young Guns. They're all young guys. And even my dad was playing at the time, and he was pretty good. So we started Circle Factory, which is a divisional team. And, shout out to my dad, because every SoCal tournament back then, there was a lot. I played like so many I probably played more tournaments than I just played in general. And it was like every, once a month, probably a tournament. And I think that tournament experience is like no other. The competition and all that,
You got to have that, dude. Shout out to Bill and Lori. I love your parents, man.
Yeah.
Just some of the best people ever. And yeah, dude, you're right, man. Your dad taking you under the wing and getting you that tournament experience, that's huge for your development.
Yeah, it's huge. And I had no excuse. I had everything given to me, which I got lucky, whatever, but anyway, so then we played, and then the Young Gun thing was kind of wrapping up, and the Circle Factory thing was kind of whatever. And there was a season before Cup, Marcelo, and 04, I don't remember, but I went out to Aftermath tryout.
05.
Okay. Yep. And then we actually played you guys. My first tournament. Oh, this is funny because Miles reminded me of this the other night. Our first tournament, we played you guys. Circle Factory played Aftermath. It was the 05, the Pomona
LA
underwater.
Open.
Yeah.
You
guys were talking about that yesterday.
The Submarine Open.
Yeah. But the very first, I think the first point you guys won. The second point, the second line went out, and I shot Mouse. So the first person to ever shoot Mouse in his first tournament and my first tournament was Mouse that I shot, which is crazy.
That's funny. It's funny. You know what? I was wondering. I was like, how did Mouse remember that? Well, that's how.
Yeah. So that was that. And you guys, it was 1-1, and then I think it was 23-3 at the end or something. And we're like, we're not good at this X-ball stuff. So my team and that was where paintball was going in that direction. And at the end of the year, I went to your guys' tryouts, or I don't even know if it was a tryout. I just went to the practice. And do you remember? I don't even remember you really. Do you remember me that day or no?
So I watched your Go Sports thing, and I thought it was funny that you brought up walking to the parking lot afterwards. I remember you from that time, absolutely. And I remember like saying this is the Circle Factory kid. You know,
Okay.
I remember you from that team, so I absolutely do. Yes, I don't
Okay, so
remember that day. You know,
right. So yeah, I tried out, and I remember Mike. I went to the X, and Mike was really mad at Mini Mike that day. Do you remember when we were doing 3-on-3?
Oh,
Like,
dude, poor Mini Mike,
I
man.
know.
Mini Mike.
We were doing half field drills, and he went in the half of the field you weren't supposed to
Oh
go.
yeah.
And Mike,
Oh no.
Mike was pissed. So the next, like a few points later, we were doing 5-on-5s, and Mike was back in the coaching days, and I was at the X, and Mike like went like this to drop the hammer. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? So I run and bunker Mini Mike, and he was like, yeah, get that fucker. And I was set from then on. But
there we go.
So
Yeah.
yeah, kind of, dude. Let's dive into this. I want to really dive into the aftermath camp and talk about that experience. Let's start at the grassroots and just like walk us through that whole aftermath experience from the start to when you developed and left the team.
Well, you heard my story about when with this guy. Let's see if I get it.
Was it me or was it Mouse?
It was both you guys.
We gotta tell this story. That's funny.
And
I feel bad.
And I did talk to Mouse about it, and he verified it. So
okay.
But
yeah, that's why I told you. I was like, I don't remember it, but it definitely sounds like it could be true. Me and Mouse talking shit.
Yeah, they were talking shit because they were the two little. What did you guys call themselves? The Gremlins or something? I don't remember.
We had a name
little
for
gremlins.
I don't know.
God.
I don't know. I could be making it up. But basically, yeah, I was on the team. And the following week, we were at the Redlands practice, which back then you would play on rocks, and
Ooh, that feels gnarly.
it was brutal. And I think you got a rock thrown at your head that day. But
that was Mouse. That was Mouse.
Oh, was it Mouse?
That was Mouse. I'll never forget. My uncle and my dad came up and watched, and I remember my uncle at the time was probably 70, old school Italian dude, used to be a badass. But I remember he looked at my dad and was like, what the fuck is this? You know, like he wanted to go do something. And my dad was like, no, don't do anything, Uncle Nick, don't say anything.
Yep.
They don't know Mikey,
They
baby.
don't know Mike.
And he raised killers, man. It's just like
100%.
I wouldn't change a freaking thing, and
No
I
way.
have so much respect for him.
Yeah.
I did say, talking to Maddie, like I didn't love that environment either, though. Because
it was tough.
It was tough, dude.
Yeah, like I said, I was given everything, so maybe I was a little spoiled in my my life, but it was good for me also.
Dude, it was a grueling environment. I remember when I was on Aftermath, I don't know, I was yelling or something, and I was like close to a dude shot me on my tongue, or like through the mask, a shell came through and split my tongue in half, or I don't know if it was the ball. I have a lizard tongue bleeding out of my face, like, oh my God. And my tongue, I still have a scar on my tongue from this. I show Mike, he said, put some fucking ice on it and get your ass back out on the field. I was like, God damn, dude, all right. And I'm like legit, like my tongue is split in half, and I put some ice on it. I got my ass back out on the field. You know what I mean? It's like, yes, sir. You got it, baby. I'm getting out there, It's just the way he raised us,
And probably, and I don't think I ever missed a game or a point or a tournament because I was injured. Like, if you're injured, go ahead, buddy. You're going out there. It don't matter. Like, I honestly, and there's like, and I don't want to call anyone out in the league, but like I watch Vegas or Cup, and people, oh, so-and-so rolled an ankle or so-and-so hurt their shoulder and they can't play. And like 3 points later, they win the game and they're running around going like this with their shoulder. I'm like, this fucking guy wasn't hurt.
Dude,
what the fuck? Like I've been, I've been where it's like, even with the game freaking on the line and we win, I'm still limping off. Like, this shit is real, But that's where we came from. You you got to be tough.
We got to talk about the story of me and Mouse talking shit about you.
Okay, so and then I'm walking like a few steps behind these dudes, and we're all 15. I'm like a few months older than them, but so they're all talking shit about me and being the new kid, and they're making fun of my sandana, and it's
bro, your sandana was
you
so
had a
fresh.
really long sandana. I remember.
Yeah,
Dude, you know what's funny, Dalton?
My sandana was bad.
I think you gave it to me. I'm pretty sure that I had your sandana. It had a white cloth on the inside.
Yeah.
Dude, you gave that to me and someone stole it years ago, dude. I was so
way
pissed.
to go.
Yeah.
Years ago.
I know, years ago, dude. Someone stole it. But I wore it for a long time. So funny. I made fun of it, FNG.
And then you got it.
And then I got
it.
Yeah, now he's wearing it.
Damn. Yeah, that sounds about right. We were
what's crazy.
Punks.
And then you guys, are now like, that's pretty crazy. You guys are now one of my best friends. And yeah, you definitely grown up from then. I think about
for sure, dude.
Like I watch this podcast and I watch it all the time. Everything you guys put out, I watch.
We love you.
I love you guys.
Thanks, Dalton.
And I know a lot of people watch this to like learn paintball and get better, yada yada yada. But some people are just watching it for entertainment. So
totally,
you guys are awesome, man.
Oh, let's go, bro. We hope we're doing a entertaining job. We're having fun with it. That's the most important thing. We want to legitimately just come on here and have a good time and pump out good energy for the people, and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a good time, dude. And dude, yeah, paintball's the shit. I mean, we're so lucky.
Many cool stories.
yeah, it is, man. And there's many great people, Yeah,
there is.
Yeah,
totally. It's also about the growth though too. And Dalt, I like that you come in and call me out on that. I know for sure I've grown up a lot, and so much of that is in thanks to paintball. When I was younger, I think it's part of one, at a very young age, a lot of us had a lot of success early, and so it's really easy to let that stuff get to your head. It's really easy.
Oh yeah.
At 14, 15 years old, I didn't know how to manage anything. I didn't know how to manage anything. I knew how to clean my paintball gun. That was about it. And it is funny how this game has really shaped my personality. The relationships, the people that I've met through it have dictated, the type of person that I am, and definitely much for the better. But I've seen it do that for a lot of people in the game, where it's matured people in a really respectable way. I'm not sure if I would be the person I am today without paintball. As a matter of fact, I know I wouldn't be.
Oh, you'd be a complete turd, dude. If it
totally.
Yeah, you'd be a turd.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You got those.
Pour it on.
You got those baby blue eyes, like, oh, everyone just look at me.
Jeez, dude, this is so unfair. It's always about the looks. This is baloney. There's more to me than that.
No,
but
that's
right.
But your guys' podcast is awesome, man, because one, you let your listeners tell their story, and you listen. You guys listen very well. Sometimes when the guy's talking, I just look at you guys, and you guys are,
Yeah.
Dude, well, that's something we've been talking about. It's like the best part of this. We even this show with you, as well as I'm sure we both feel we know you, like everyone that we've had on, we learn something new, and it's really interesting, and it's really cool to hear people's stories and just have good conversation. It really is something that we enjoy doing. Tyler and I will call each other after the show, and we're like,
dude, that was great.
There's been times where we talk for another hour after the show, just like of how awesome it was, and we're just stoked on it,
And there's people like, I like listening to the coaches because I feel like they have an aspect of the game I don't think about. So I listen to Ryan Brand, and dude, what a cool story, man. Like that whole X Factor. And a lot of those stories he was saying, I was the one competing against him on Aftermath.
Yeah.
It's just cool to hear like the other side,
Yep.
Totally. I know that's been awesome. Because like you said, we're always on one side of the field, and you never get that other perspective. And now with all these people, we're able to see it through their vision. You're like, holy shit, I never knew that. Or like all these crazy little intricacies of what happened. It's like I saw it a completely different way than what you saw it. You know? It's crazy. It's been fun, man.
That's why we absolutely have to get Chad George on him. We've wanted him on for a little while, but he was kind of like us, just on the East Coast. He was the Philly prodigy, young kid. And I remember in like 07, 08, I saw him just as a pure rival. I know Mouse felt the same way because he was the other young kid that was, doing what we were doing. So it was like, you're on the other side of the country. You're on the rival team. You're the young guy. I hate you.
and shout out to Jacob Edwards and Keith Brown, because they were the Florida kids. Like they were.
That's right.
I remember them being like 15 and like playing against us.
Yep.
And
right. Dude, I just got to play with Jacob and Jason, both of them out there with the
funny dudes.
So much fun, dude. We were having fun. We were stuffing people on this mound side of the field, just rolling down this side of the field. It was so much fun.
Hell yeah.
Dude, the 10-man was great. The ICPL, huge shout out to Cap. We just had Ryan on, and they won that, but it was just fun to be out there and play 10-man and see all those faces. It was legitimately like the push video was alive out there.
That's cool.
Like you got everybody that.
Oh, Till Jack.
Yeah, Danny was out there.
Who is a pioneer? Because I remember back in the day, he used to work out a lot too.
Oh, bro, he's a monster.
Right.
This guy's monster. He's so big.
He was more like going for the Schwarzenegger fitness.
Yeah, he was a little yeah.
He was a beast, though.
He was Mouse 2.0, yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, he still got it. I stood next to homie. I was like, dude, you are a monster.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's good to see all those dudes, and it's just fun, bro, for the love of the game. But let's dive back into your story. I know we're still in the aftermath deal, and then how did that progress, and then how did that come to a closure to move you forward in your career?
He couldn't take me and Mouse making fun of him.
Yeah, so I was like, I gotta get out of here. Either they leave or I gotta go. So did you guys did go to Ironman that next year, right?
Yeah,
when did you start with Ironman?
Middle of 06.
Okay, so that's kind of weird because I didn't even play with you that much on Aftermath. Probably like three tournaments or so.
Three tournaments.
Well,
So, but
yeah, you kicked him out. You're like, get the hell out of it.
So
Dalton came in and kicked us out, dude.
Yeah. So I was like the 10th guy or whatever. I was that second line or whatever you want to call it. And then these guys did leave, which gave me opportunity and confidence, like we were talking about earlier. Confidence is a big thing, and I remember I wonder if when you become more confident in your game, I wonder if it's just you recognizing that you are getting better. And there are like times I remember Bobby Avila's telling me, like pulling me aside and like, damn dude, I got so much respect for you, like you're amazing.
Dude,
shout out to Bobby, dude, because you know what? Nobody really knows, because Bobby doesn't do stuff for any sort of recognition.
He's pivotal.
He's pivotal in a lot of our careers. Dude. Me, you, Mouse, Tyler. I used to drive out to Vegas with him every weekend. We'd play one-on-ones when I was like 15 years old, 16 years old. That guy is a huge reason I am where I am today.
Yeah,
I just got to give him a little bit of love. We got to get him on the show.
Oh heck yeah, man!
I love Bobby so much, man. I miss him.
So much respect,
brother for life, dude.
Yeah. I know, dude.
And he told me that, and those are just like little stepping stones, because there's been a lot of those where people like help me out and boost my confidence. And it's also me recognizing like, oh yeah, I am getting better, and you're seeing it, and now I'm seeing it. So huge shout out to Bobby. Like that was a big stepping stone for me. And I played 3 years with the Aftermath, and it went pretty well. And like I said, though, the love-hate thing, and I wasn't having as much fun, and people aren't taking the game serious, and yada, yada, yada. And I think we won a pro tournament in 07, a 7-man event.
Yeah.
You beat us in the finals. Yeah.
Wasn't that in Florida?
Yeah. Jacksonville.
Dude, shout out to Moose one time. Let's go.
Moose, yeah, dude, me and Moose would play the Dorito side, like pretty much by ourselves. And we held it down, which is like,
dude, I love that.
Moose was pretty nasty, though.
Moose
he really was,
dude.
man.
He was a good team.
He was a good team player. He knew the
That's
game.
right.
He knew the
and
game.
that's just as important as anything. You need good teammates out there. You know what I mean? Like, and Moose is just the most ride or die homie of all time. He is the best, dude. I love Moose with all my heart.
And Lasoya played with us that event. Shout out to Lasoya. Oh my God, dude. Like, to have a legend like that play beside you, it's like, it's just, it's crazy, man. And there's a lot of luck. I remember there was a point, I think it must have been the semis or something. We were playing against Billy Bernach and the Hurricanes. But I remember him like going and getting bounced and just like, oh my God. And like he got bounced and then went and shot like 4 people. And I was like, dude, if that ball broke, we would have been going home or whatever. But so there's luck. But so yeah, and then the Aftermath kind of ended. And like I said, I was, the love-hate thing and all the drama and blah, blah, blah. So I was like going into 08.
Jacksonville was 08.
Okay, that was 08.
Jacksonville was 08.
Yeah. So 08, I was the end of 08. So 09 season, I was like, I'm probably not going to play. And
wow.
shout out to Greg Pauly.
And this is when I came back to Aftermath. You just want to be
so
my
funny.
teammate, dude. Damn.
I was like, this kid, man, I hate this kid.
Yeah, get me
I'm
out
done.
of here.
I'd rather quit paintball than play with this fucking guy.
We've really turned a corner, Dalt. We've
Yeah,
really
we
turned
have.
a corner.
And so I don't know, maybe I can
Let
tell
us
it.
have it, bro.
Yeah,
All
tell
right,
it,
all
tell
right.
it.
So 08 in San Diego, the 7-man event.
Yeah.
Mouse got his wig split off the field.
Oh no.
And I was like, all right, this is definitely not fun anymore.
We're out
Like,
here.
so yeah, I don't want to give too much detail.
For sure,
but,
that was bad.
yeah, so 09, Greg Pauly hits me up a week before Phoenix. Like, hey, you want to come play Phoenix? We're playing semi-pro, X-ball. You don't have to practice, just show up. And I didn't play 1 point all off season. I came out there and I probably played the best I ever played. I had the most fun I ever had. Like,
wow,
just so much fun, man. And we got second. But anyways, yeah, I just fell in love with the game again, and I played that whole season with Vicious, and that was a fun camp, man.
Pauly's a good coach, man. He really is.
He knows how to have fun.
He does. He was part of the Aftermath camp for a little bit too.
Yes,
early on, which was cool.
Yeah,
I got a lot of respect for Pauly for sure.
And I will say, Pauly has one of the most gritty, grimy type of eat your face off styles of anybody. I mean, up there with the best of them. Like the way that this guy's mind works, he wants to kill you, and he drives that into his players too, which is something to be said. It's it's all fun and games off the field, but when we step on that field, it's time to go. You know what I mean? He really drives that in.
And I'm gonna find this out next week when we practice, and I'm gonna find out like how much I got and how much, because there's never been a time I wanted to play so much. So I'm gonna find out. And Greg Pauly told me, once you get to a certain level, you're gonna retain a lot. Like, it's kind of hard to say because obviously you need to fine tune a lot of your stuff going on with your game or with life or all that. But and that's good for people that are wanting to get better at this. Like, if you just take like a hard season, or like how you play golf, like if you just kill yourself for like a year and just grind out, whether you're working out, playing golf, playing paintball, just do the grind for a year. A lot of that stuff you're going to retain later. You're going to keep most of that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. I don't know why I think that way, but
you're right. You're right, dude.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said about that. Yeah, dude. And you don't know what kind of an experience you're going to give yourself when you do that to yourself.
Yeah.
You're going to provoke something that you could have never imagined in yourself. There's things that are going to be derived from that you could have never had foresight enough to see before you did that. But if you just put yourself through that fucking ringer, you just do what you don't even know you can do. You don't even know if you can do it. But if you really just dedicate yourself, things are going to happen that you couldn't have imagined, Yeah, dude. That's where the magic's at. That's where it's at.
Yeah, because people get lost and discouraged. Like, they hear pro players, or like I hear like pro golf, like, oh, Tiger Woods hit 10,000 balls a day since he was freaking 5, and now Marcelo thinks he could be pro. It's like, it's kind of discouraging. But dude, if you just take a year or whatever, like, I don't know how good you want to be at this, or if you're a weekend warrior or whatever, but if you just take some time and just go all in for a few months, as long as you could withstand it, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna hold a lot of that stuff you learned.
Totally,
I think it's pretty big.
It is. You're right.
I agree too, because I feel like with anything, the more frequently you do it, the more you're aware of all the little details, the more aware you are of all the little details, right? So like if you make a bad shot, if you've been doing it consistently, you have a better understanding of, well, it's because I was, holding the club a little bit this way, or I was holding my paintball gun a little bit this way. You're able to recognize those things better than if you just pick it up, every couple of weeks, you make a mistake, and you're not really like, you don't have the base of what feels right and wrong, and I definitely think that plays a big role. And when you're trying to get really good at something, is the more frequent you do it, the easier you can recognize what goes right and wrong.
Yeah. And there's two types of like levels to when you're picking up something new, because like snowboarding, that's another one where like if you could just go out a lot and you stay on the bunny slopes and you just half-ass it, you're probably not going to get any better. Or like you go I don't know if you've ever been ice skating, but like if you just stand on the side and just go through the side, like you're not doing nothing. Just go in there and just freaking slide in the middle and just go for it. You might fall on your ass, but
that's how you learn.
Figure it out.
Dude,
that way, 100%.
Take your ass to the top of the mountain with your damn snowboard and go down that thing and see what happens.
Bring your 3-year-old with you and just go.
Jesus.
Bro, you know what's
Disclaimer,
crazy?
this is not a PTG recommendation.
Dude, you know what's crazy? I last year, my son was 4 years old, and we went and did this. And
What a stud,
dude, he went down the mountain and he fell a few times, but he was like, and it's not for everybody. My son is like, he's a little athlete. He loves this kind of stuff. So he's charging for it, and he's eating it, and he cried, but he made it down the mountain. And when he made it down the mountain, he was like, he looked up at where he came from, and he was like, I went down that, it's like, it's life-changing stuff. If you just go to the top and try it, and just give it a go.
And you're instilling confidence from a young age, Ty, which is so important. And I don't know if you remember, Tyler, when we had Archie on the show, or if Dalton, you remember from listening, but Archie was explaining having success really early in paintball. And I asked him, I don't think he understood the question, because I don't think he would disagree, but I don't want to put words in his mouth. But my question was, do you think that success early on plays a role into how successful you are today? Because I think it absolutely does. I know when I was younger, I had all these little victories that at the time seemed like Goliath, like I had climbed these big mountains. Yeah. And it's been a staple, like I feel like I can overcome and do anything, because from a young age, that's all I knew is I could, if I tried and I really put effort into something, like I knew that I could do stuff, and I had that foundation. I didn't have a foundation of never trying to do things, or a foundation of always losing, and I guess that's something too. You could try really hard and still never have that success, but that's why there's not that many champions that sit at the top of anything, because it's not easy, it's hard, but I think that plays a role into it, and you're giving your kids the opportunity to have something like that at a young age, looking back up at that mountain, hopefully, I mean, that's a young age, but hopefully that's something that he remembers for a long time. Like, I can pretty much climb any mountain,
Yeah, dude.
And you got to find what you're good at too, because, there's some stuff like you might love, but you just don't have it. Right. And with my little one, like, I love sports. I love getting after it. But
it's
this
experimenting.
Dude, and I want to give him like all those opportunities, but I'm already noticing, he's only 3, that he's a bookworm, and he's like, oh wow, I don't care about sports. I don't want to throw the football. Like, let's try these ABCs out or whatever. And I'm like, dude, nice, go for it, man. Whatever. Cause
I think that's
accentuate it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
I think that's the biggest thing that my dad did for me was he never forced me to do anything. It was whatever I was interested in. He gave me the best opportunity to succeed in that, whether it was taekwondo or soccer or ice hockey, and then paintball, those were my passions. And he just would provide the platform for me to, as much as I wanted to put in, he was going to allow me to, but he never forced me to do anything, and that kind of goes back into what you were saying before about how like some kids, their dad's an NBA player or and then they don't want to be, you got to let kids find their own path. You know what I mean?
Totally. It's funny because my 5-year-old, like I said, Theo is like a little athlete. He's got baseball practice tomorrow. We're doing all these things. My 3-year-old, on the other hand, is not. Like, he is absolutely
so weird.
Like, my 3-year-old, we were at the park a couple days ago. He fell, scraped his knee, and he said, my leg is broken. And like he legitimately would not walk. We had to carry him. He sat on the couch for like a full day and would not walk. Like, he was saying, my leg is broken. So we had to carry this little guy around because he will not walk. So it's like complete polar opposite of Theo. Theo will fall, scrape up his arm and be like, it's all right, Dad. It's just a little boo-boo. You know what I mean? But Max is like complete polar opposite, does not want to touch a baseball, does not want to do anything athletic. And and that's fine too. You know, it's like, you just accentuate, like you said,
Totally.
Dalty, whatever the little man or the little girl wants to do, you just accentuate their natural abilities, you know? That's where it's at.
That makes you guys both amazing parents.
Yeah. And I also have 2 boys, and one was born New Year's Day this year.
Yeah,
and,
baby.
And he's like polar opposite of my, like, this kid's already ready to walk. He's 9 months, whatever days. And he's like,
beautiful.
He's like bouncing his face off the canvas and just whatever, like comes up with cuts. And like, it's weird how they're different.
It is. It's a miracle, man. Congratulations to both you and Jackie. You guys have such a beautiful family. 2 beautiful kids, beautiful dog as well. Shout out to Piper. And
Jack's gonna love that when she listens.
Yeah, man. You guys just have the best thing going, and can't wait to get you guys out here to Arizona.
Yeah, dude. We're coming. We're coming.
I know. Let's get you a job out here, Daddy. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm coming, man.
Yeah, dude. It's actually
not bad.
You know,
it's not bad.
People give Arizona a hard time because of the heat, but honestly, I lived in Modesto, California, and it's not far off from where I was. I'm not gonna lie, like the NorCal Valley heat is right about comparable to what this is.
Degrees,
and the cool thing about this is Sarah hates the winter because she hates being cold. So out here, she don't got to worry about that. It's the winter times are plush out here.
And you have really good access to paintball fields, which is phenomenal, dude.
I need
the best. I just moved even closer. Now I'm 5 minutes from the paintball field, 25 minutes from the airport. So I'm super stoked on that.
Heck yeah.
When do you move, Ty? When do you start doing
I move into my house in 2 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congrats, man. That's awesome.
Thanks, brother. Dude, I'm just stoked for my kids. We've been in this apartment, and I have to be like, these guys are thriving kids, and I have to be like, no jumping, you know, because there's neighbors, and we're on the second floor, and it's like, so now they can just live as loud as they want to.
Now they got room for activities.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm stoked. So that's happening here soon. And yeah, man, I'm just so blessed to be having you on the team, Dalty. We get to practice again soon, man. This is gonna be great.
Can't wait, dude.
I was thinking. Yeah, it's weird because every team I've ever been on, which they've all been good teams, like some reason I like competing against my teammates more than the people I'm competing with. And then at the end of the day, we win. It's like, well, no matter what, I'm coming together, and you know, but especially in practice and like,
totally.
I don't know why. I just love that. Like, it just makes everyone better. I mean,
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. And that's how, I think that's how all of us got good, right?
Yes.
When I was on Oakland, I got my face smashed in by these dudes. And then, you know, then when you get to the tournament, you get to be on their team, and then you have that energy come together and everyone's eating, you know what I mean? It's we got to breed that and keep that ferocity going with the team within the organization, because that's what breeds championship organizations is that internal fire. We got to keep that going strong.
I don't remember what season it was. Maybe you were on the team, or I don't know, Marcelo, but it was we did this thing where we all played one-on-ones.
Yeah.
And Alex Fraze took us down, and then we went and played 2-on-2s, and then we played like 3, and it was all competitive. Like who won the one-on-ones, who won the 2-on-2s, who won the 3-on-3, who was on the team on the 5-on-5s.
Yeah.
And not only did it like make little relationships better, like if me and Tyler are teammates, like me and him are like, all right, we got to win this.
Yeah, totally.
And then like it made your relationship better. And then you add another guy in, and then he's on, you know, and then you add 5 in, and then it just, it gelled well. And the competition made everyone better for sure.
That inter-team competition is incredibly important. You know, you gotta learn how to win, and people are afraid of competition. You know, they let the ego get in the way, and they show up to practice like, I don't want to lose a one-on-one to Tyler. Let's just go play 5-on-5s. You know, come on, let's just play 5-on-5s. Why can't we do that? You know, no, man, get in each other's face. You know, and if you can't, again, maybe it's just we were all raised a little different in that, you know, we're not worried about getting in each other's face, and it's all for the betterment of the team. We just want to win, right? So I want you to call me out on something that I have as a weakness. I'm not going to take it personal. Maybe in the moment, because my adrenaline's going, I might not be incredibly receptive, but I'm listening. I'm listening, you know, and everyone here's the same, you know, like there's times where I want to tell Tyler something. I'm like, I'm going to wait. I'm just going to wait, you know, and it's just how it is, you know, like you you have to be able to criticize your teammates, and you have to be able to
Yeah.
get in each other's face and expose them for weaknesses if you want to win, right? If you want to show up to these events and have a good time and enjoy beers afterwards and be that team, that's fine, I guess, if that's the world you live in, but you're not going to win.
Yeah, and there might be some fights. Like in Arizona, I
Right.
plan to punch Ryan, and I plan to put Marcel in an armbar. It's gonna happen.
Oh, Dalty. Bring it up, baby.
I can't wait.
It's gonna
Cannot
be
wait.
fun. So
Yeah, dude.
where were we in your story? I think we were with Vicious.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
'cause
right.
Let's dive back into the Vicious, because honestly, Dalton, your come up was, you did it the hard way, man. You really did.
Yeah.
And I heard you say something on Maddie's show with Go Sports about feeling like you're kind of like the stepchild on Aftermath with
Right.
me and Mouse. And in all honesty, your way was the harder way, and you became one of the best players in the world. And so that's, I think, something that's probably more relatable to a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was the fact that you didn't ever give up. You found kind of your own path. And I think that those years with Vicious were really crucial, because I remember watching you at World Cup. I think it was 2008. You guys won, right? Was that 2008?
Yes. We beat Excessive.
Yeah, and you played so good, dude. And it was like kind of like Dalton's kind of on the scene now, you know, and you're gonna have to respect it. So yeah, let's kind of talk about that journey.
Yeah, that did feel like my coming out party, and and like you said, you know, you and Mouse went to play pro on Ironman at 16, and I was left there with all the old guys, you know, and it does help, like for me, you know, that confidence and being one of the top guys on your team. Like, you know, you always want to put yourself in the best situation, play on the best team, but there is something to be said about like being one of those top guys on your team and like and taking it to that next level.
For sure.
So
well, real quick, just something that I recommend to players. Usually they have to already at least be semi-pro, but especially once they turn pro, like one of the biggest recommendations is go travel and play the teams internationally, because on that team, you're gonna be the best guy, and you're gonna be the guy that the team relies on for everything: game plans, joysticking, winning games, you know. And it's gonna put you in a situation where you have to grow, you have to get better, and you have to be aware of the whole game, you know. And I think that's what you're referring to, right? Is like sometimes it might be better, instead of going like Rosati, for example, going and playing for Impact. I'm not
wasn't good
how much that helped him, you know. He maybe got to hear some amazing things from top players, but he didn't get the experience. Whereas on NYX, he's playing every point. He's gonna get that experience, you know.
And it's funny you say that about Europe, because that was another stepping stone. Because when I played on MO Kings, that was when Impact really recognized me and got to watch me play, and they really were like, all right, this dude is going to be a good addition to the team. But anyways, we'll go back over so on Vicious, so and then Vicious came to a wrap or whatever, you know, going to Omaha and living my regular life in SoCal. It wasn't a great mix for more time than a year. I just did it for that year, just for fun. And then Entourage came together. You guys remember Entourage with
of course.
Dynasty
so
Entourage.
Rodney Squires.
Rodney Squires was the coolest coach. Like, he fit to my style so much. It'd be like 1 o'clock and be like, all right guys, like, you know, we don't want to overdo it here. Like, you know. And dude, we won we played 7-man semi-pro. We won every tournament, every single tournament. And I love 7.
What do you think helped with that success of winning those tournaments? Like for the listeners, so that they can kind of get some value out of how you do that, because a lot of teams want to do that, you know.
I don't know. I've been so lucky, like every step of the way. Like I was kind of looking at the NX or your old tournaments, and oh my God, I've won so many tournaments throughout every division. I don't know if I was just lucky or put in the right situations, Like
well, it's everything, Dalton. You weren't on any of those teams out of pure luck, right?
Yeah.
Like, maybe it was lucky the location, but you were at the field all the time. You were getting
Right.
on people's radars. You were
Yeah.
practicing. You loved the game. You weren't drinking. You were doing the right things. You were
Right.
taking the right steps to put yourself in these situations. You know, there's a little bit of luck involved in all of it. All of us can say that for sure.
You created your own luck.
Yeah.
You created your own luck.
So with
Yeah.
Vicious, I think we won 2 tournaments, got a few seconds. With Aftermath, you know, we pretty much won everything there is to win. We even won a tournament, pro tournament, our first pro year, and a second. So, you know, I've always been used to winning, and maybe that's why what motivates me the most, I would think. But anyways, I went to Entourage, we crushed it. And then we played semi-pro that whole year. We even won Phoenix, PSP or whatever. So then we tried Entourage as a pro PSP team, and we didn't play well, and it wasn't fun, and I hated it. And and the team was folding that next year because of Mark Lack and his, you know.
Oh yeah.
That's one guy that was actually a good money guy / son player. He was a really good player.
Yeah, Mark was
and very athletic.
He's crushing it on Instagram, huh?
He's like a motivational. Somehow he's business motivational when he's from the richest family and lives in Laguna.
Funny how those work out, right?
Yeah, it's easy. Life's easy, guys.
Exactly.
But anyway, hopefully he doesn't watch this. So yeah, and then there was, I think I told her on Maddie's that there was a tournament. It actually was with Entourage, but Dynasty was in the stands and they were watching our game and they were like, "Yeah, let's get this kid next season," and that was how I got on Dynasty.
So this is 2011, 10.
11 is when I got on Dynasty.
Okay, right, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. And then you were on Dynasty until what was it, 16?
For 3 years I was on Dynasty, and then on 2014 I went to Damage.
That's right. So kind of walk me through how that all happened with getting on Dynasty, and then what those first practices, tournaments, and everything like that was like.
So that was again like those confident stepping stones where you I mean, I'm used to playing against teams, and I played pro division, but with my guys, and you know. But anyway, so I play with Dynasty.
Dream come true.
Yeah. So I played with Dynasty, and like you still don't know who you are until you're playing beside the best and see if you could set yourself apart. And I remember that first practice, it was like a weird situation where I was like diving in the snake, and you know my patent double knee slides, right?
Oh yeah.
So I did a somewhat knee slide, weird hip slide, and I was just going into the snake, and I shot a guy in the face as I was going in.
Yeah.
And like Oliver, Ryan, and like I think Alex were standing there, were plain view where they could see that shot. And they were like mind blown away. Like and I was like, they were like ready to just like lift me, and I was and just seeing their face and their reaction, and it was like, oh my God. Like I'm here to shine. Like I'm not just a Dynasty guy. I'm here to win the tournament and be the guy. But
that's tight, Dalton. Dude. That's tight. That's tight.
Dude.
It was tight.
That's what it's all about.
I want to see some more double knee slides in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Dude, it's such a confidence booster when you have those big moments, and like you said, you just came on that organization, and you know, you set the tone. That's what you got to do.
Yeah. And you guys went on a little run. You guys won some events that year.
Yeah, we won the first 4 events, which was a 7-man, a European, and then an NXL, and then another 7-man. And then that was the J-Rab curse. It was in Chicago, I want to say.
Oh, yeah.
Where there was like a minute left, and we had we're up a point. And this sucks because maybe this is why I'm so like worried about the clock, and I really take it serious, like working the clock, being in situation that's so crucial in paintball.
Crucial. Yeah.
But so I went out to this Dorito corner, like I do, blazing fast, you know me, and I'm pretty sure we were playing against the Russians, and I shoot a guy down the tape, and I have the whole wire, and I'm just rapping, just big smile on my face, about to win the tournament. Look up at the clock, 5 seconds, and then I happen to like look left at the flag, and I see J-Rab running it in and hangs the flag, and like I'm just like, what was I doing, dude? I should have been inside.
Mm-hmm.
And he made just, I don't know if there's tape on this, but like it was just the craziest, like luckiest.
Well,
everything.
he was in the snake one, and he ran all the way out towards the center, split the seam, because I think Glenn, or I forgot who it was still alive.
It was Glenn, I think.
Was on the snake side in a little Dorito, and he just kind of split the seam. He closed his eyes and went for it. Essentially, is what J-Rab did, and it worked. And honestly, that's the play that made J-Rab, famous. It really is, and rightfully so, because then you guys go into overtime and
a one-on-one.
Can't discredit Malloy, but it's funny because I got to play with Steven Pitts, on the Ironman after this, and that one-on-one haunted him incredibly.
Really?
But Malloy bunkered him in the one-on-one, to win the event. So Steven, I swear to God, if you watch any tape from Ironman in 2013 and 14, if Steven Pitts was like, no, he would try to bunker the guy every single time. Yes, every single time.
What a legend that guy was, man.
Dude, absolutely. The most underrated player ever.
The most.
Has to be, right? Has to be. And Glenn's up there, but Glenn at least did get his recognition. Steven got no recognition, and he was truly one of the best.
And I mimicked a lot of his style of play like that, where he was very just comfortable in bad situations. And he knew when like the game was quiet, and he knew like that sneakiness. Some players don't have that these days without playing 7-man and stuff. But like there's points in the game where you could just like kind of hunker down, be quiet, and surprise the shit out of people.
So true. So true.
It's true. Yeah, dude. Damn. It's about finding those opportunities.
Yeah.
So what do you mean the J-Rab curse? Did that carry on after that?
So yeah, that year we were on a roll. We were winning 4 events, went to the finals that 5th event. We got second, and we didn't win a tournament after that, and we got a bunch of seconds, a bunch of thirds, and like something happened. I don't know. I'm not very superstitious,
right? Yeah. It's not superstition. It's just a little bit of doubt creeps into the psyche, and then that's all it takes at the highest levels. Right. If you have any sort of hesitation in the mind or a little bit of doubt, where you're like, but we could lose this still. It's not good. It's not good. Sports are very, very, they're very mental based.
And then that's when Tyler and I's story came together. You came in 2012, right? Or 13?
13. Yeah.
Okay.
With Spica and Short Dog.
So 2012 was the curse kind of carried on, and I'm pretty well, obviously we won a tournament. I just don't remember how many.
I remember when I came on the team.
One.
Yeah.
Vegas they were at the end. My first time.
Right there he is.
Playing with Dynasty, baby.
That's when our story came together.
Yep.
Yeah. And then you went to what team did you go to? Russia after that?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
So no, in 2012 I played with Russian Legion.
That's right.
They didn't play 7-man. So at the end of the year, I guested with Dynasty in the Vegas event. And honestly, I don't regret it because I learned a lot on the Ironman. There was a lot of great stuff that happened. What?
Not you, Dalton.
Oh, sorry. But I probably should have come to Dynasty after that. We would have been together from the beginning.
Yeah. No, I was just telling Dalton to move his mic a little bit from his mouth. He's open mouth breather.
God damn it.
Yeah, but dude, that was 13 when we came together, and dude, Megatron was formed. That was some good times.
Yeah, and I watched a bunch of those old videos. Dude, that video of the infamous game where you jump.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Everyone, dude, I think that's the most watched paintball game.
I shot Damian Ryan off the break. I'll never forget this. I was like, all right, I'm going to smoke this fool. I'm going to split the seam and then run through. And I shot Damian. Then I ran through. I shot Nicky Cuba in the back, and I jumped in the air and shot one ball at the Dorito guy.
Yeah.
Shot him, did a flip in the air, landed, did a roll. Kyle zoomed by me. And then we got that one. I was like, oh my God.
I shot that MFer in the air. I remember that. Yeah, dude.
That was nuts.
John Wick.
Dude, that was crazy, dude.
Insane, man.
Yeah, you get lucky every once in a while,
Yeah, you do.
But guess what? You don't get lucky if you don't go for it.
That's it, dude. I was hungry trying to eat faces.
Yeah. If you sit back in the corner, you don't have a chance to get lucky there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to go, dude. Just feel it and go. Most of the time it's going to work out. If it doesn't, like Dalton said, you still are not going to get harped on. You know, they're going to be like,
Yeah.
dude was going for it. That's something that Rich Telford like instilled in me from a young age. He would always be like, don't be timid, you know, or like just take the opportunity, go for it. Get shot moving. I don't want to ever see you get shot in the same bunker you started in, or lose a game that you could have made some moves. Like, get your ass up and start moving and try and take it into your hands, because
Yeah.
you're not gonna have anything happen just sitting back, you know.
Totally.
It's true,
Yeah.
man.
And there was
Yeah.
a lot of dynasty magic that year based off of that kind of stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah, there really was.
Yeah, and there was a game where we were playing against the Russians. It was 2-on-5. Remember me and
Oh, yeah.
Yosh, and I was like hiding in this Dorito,
Yeah.
and that was the year where we came up with grit, and grit
Yeah.
was a huge role for us because it basically meant like never give up
Yeah.
and just freaking go for it, and
Mhm.
whatever it is, whether you have to hide
That's
for
right.
10 minutes, where you have to freaking run around with your head cut off and shoot
Yeah.
people in the air, it's like just grit.
That's right. That's so powerful, dude. That's right. And like, yeah, shit that we were not supposed to win, we won, and a
Yes.
lot.
Yeah.
It wasn't
That
like
was
it was
huge.
1, 2. We won a lot of situations like
Yeah.
that, to where it kind of was like the norm for us. We were like, we would
Yes.
see a situation, we're like, we got it. You know what I'm saying? We never, like Marcelo was talking about, we never let doubt creep into our mind. Every situation was ours, every single one. It didn't matter what the situation was. We were going to win it. And that's how you have to be, choosing to think about things. Like Marcelo said, you can never have those little thoughts creep into your mind, because it's just debilitating. You don't realize what it does, but it just chops your legs right off. As
Mm-hmm.
soon as you start thinking like that, you've already lost, you know?
But that is also why preparation is so important. I
Yep.
know during those times, you guys were one of the most prepared teams in the league from top to bottom. You know, it was known from the outside the way you guys
Mhm.
were prepared. And if you're not prepared, that's the very first step to allow doubt to creep in. You know,
That's
you
true.
show up to these events,
Mm-hmm.
and if you're not prepared, you know that you left some sort of work on the table. All right, you're already at a disadvantage. Period. You
Mhm.
know, it's so important not to let that be the case.
Do you
And
remember
that,
how hard the practices were,
yeah.
Dalton?
And that's back to the competition between ourselves and
exactly.
grinding
Yeah.
and those low body situations, and
Yeah.
those practices were long and hard, man. And that's the cool
Yeah.
thing about Dynasty. I like, ever since I played on Dynasty, like, I love the work. I don't know what it is
Mhm.
about being on Dynasty. I think maybe because I know we're all not salary based and we're not getting a check, so we're kind of the underdogs.
Mhm.
So like, that hard work is all we have, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It means a
100%,
lot.
dude. 100%. It does. It means way more. It means way more.
Mm-hmm.
We're there because
Yeah.
we want to be. That's the way the team has always been. You know, that's why I was so excited to be able to come and join the team in 2015. It was something that I had always wanted to be part of. I mean, from a young kid, from when we were on Aftermath playing against these guys, you know what I mean? There's just so much about Dynasty. It's truly an honor to be able to have the opportunity to try to carry on the legacy of this team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ty, you've got the logo behind you right now.
Yep.
And that shit means a lot, man. It really does. Dynasty the Dragon. It's the most meaningful icon in paintball, in my opinion. You know, it has honestly transcended the game.
Yeah. And we're very, very fortunate to be where we are with the organization that we have, the people sitting right here, everyone around us that supports us. We have the best fans in the world. We've got the best support in the world, the best sponsors. Shout out to Field One and HK.
Yeah,
I
baby.
mean, we just all around, this is such an honor and a privilege, a true privilege, that we're able to wear this jersey, to be with this organization. And I don't take it for granted. I know nobody sitting here does, and we
Totally.
got to capitalize on this opportunity.
Yeah. And there's no team I rather win with. Like, cause
Yee!
you know, so towards when I'm making this comeback, like, I had options. I'm not gonna lie. I
Yeah,
counted.
sure.
There was 9 out of the 20 teams asked me to play with him,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of stories that I have with people. Like you
Yeah.
said with Greg Pauly, like he brought me out and with Vicious, and I felt like I have a history with him, and maybe I should redo that history, and
Mhm.
so like,
Dude, the league would have been in trouble if you did that move.
and I
I
almost
didn't.
did, and
Mm-mm.
you know, with Impact, it's like I have a history with them, and then I think about Dynasty, and it's like, It's just it, man. I can't explain it. It's you guys. It's the history of the team. It's also Ryan. Like, he's given so much to this team and gave up so much that he could have had, and it's kind of
It's inspiring. It is.
it's
He's
inspiring.
he's really stuck it out with the team. We
Yeah.
give him so much shit on the show, but it's with a lot of respect as well. He truly is. Friggin'
Ryan
guy.
is Godfather, bro. Ryan is
He's
I
got
mean,
the gray hair to match.
he's got the gray Godfather hair to match. He's been in it, and he's accomplished everything there's to accomplish, you know. And he still is driven. He still is passionate. He drives me a little crazy too, and he drives me to be the best that I can be. And I'm so grateful for that dude, and for all the wizards. You know, we got a handful of
Dude. They're
wizards
the
on the
Wizards,
team.
man.
Yeah,
They're the Wizards. Yosh, Alex,
Yeah.
Ryan, they're the freaking Wizards.
And throughout all like my years of winning, and I've talked about like all the fortunate times I've won, but like the thing too I have to think about is like when you do lose, and you're gonna lose more than you win, but like seeing Ryan's face, I don't know, it's like when he gives it his all, man, and I know you guys do too, but like seeing people's faces after a loss, it's like there's nothing more inspiring than that. And
yeah,
dude, you just gotta win, man.
that's
Yeah,
it.
and especially
Just
for
get
the
it done.
guys that losing isn't really in their understanding of this game,
Yes,
you know.
exactly.
And they earn wins their entire career, you know, and to still be some of the best in the game. I mean, any one of them could pretty much get a starting spot on just about any
Yeah.
pro team in the league. You know what I mean? And it's pretty remarkable to have been doing it for that long and to still be where they are. You know,
Yeah.
but let's again dive back in. We haven't even gotten to Impact. We got to share all the Impact
All right.
stories to the entire world. But first, let's go back in. There was a few years with Dynasty. You guys had a ton of success. That was probably one of the more successful eras of Dynasty. Was like 13, 14.
Yeah.
You know, there was you guys won the championships. You were winning over in Europe.
Yeah, and we were just like a fine-tuned machine. Like, I think of like NASCAR, like everything, the pit, dude. Like, we had sideline coaching, we had the sponsors, HK, and it's like everything was just like there was no reason not to succeed. We had everything going for us, you know.
Dude, that was the best because that was the first year that HK Army sponsored Dynasty, and then we
Yes.
just came out knocking people out with HK. Just let's
I remember
go.
they had the big like the G count signs. They were doing like chants like for codes and like
That's right.
dude.
They were right there
The
helping us
HK
every step of the way.
The HK guys have always been the
Yes.
most involved owners in paintball, and I cannot thank them enough for that. You know, to this day, you know, not quite as much as before, but hey, I get it. But to this day, they're still in our pits. You know, in most of our games, they're in our pits. They're excited. You could see it on their face. Like if we lose a point, I see the tension on Jay's face, or Marky, or even Brandon Fort when he makes his appearance every now and then. Like they want the win almost as bad as we do. They care about their teams. They also showed similar support for Houston Heat. You know, they're two top teams. Shout out to
Marky.
the YouTubers. We got
I'm wearing Marky on my chest right now.
Yeah, dude, I didn't realize that was Marky. That's a Fear and Loathing.
Yeah, I was asking
t-shirt.
if Fear and
That's
Loathing.
so sick. But I mean, just the guys have always cared so much, you know, and that's why I love to support them, you know, because they support their teams. They really do. They support their guys, and you can't ask for much more from a paintball company, you know, from a sponsor.
And
they're also like our best friends, you know. It's like those are my dudes.
Yeah, totally.
Brandon Short now is there, and it's as soon as I got on Dynasty, you know, Short was texting me like what gear I wanted, and he sent me some stuff, and we were talking about it pre-show. It's like, dude, this gear, and I've had, you know, I'm not gonna bash on any old gear I had, but HK is by far, and I'm not the guy
HK. By HK.
I'm not the guy that's gonna lie to you. I'll tell you honestly, and
for sure,
their shit's fresh, man. I missed it. Yeah, for sure.
Style, quality, and you just got, like I said, these guys care. They care about paintball, and it shows in everything they do. We're just so lucky, dude. We really are. We're the luckiest dudes. So talk to me about Dynasty, and then how did the whole thing come about with Tampa? That was a big paycheck you got there. Let's talk about that. Let's like kind of roll into that segment.
So it wasn't bad, you know. I was getting paid 40 G's plus 10 guns to play 15 weekends of paintball that year, and I was like, yeah, I'll do that. Fine.
This was 2014. Yeah, Dalton?
14. Yeah. And Short, Short was giving me shit like, dude, like, what the fuck? Like, you're gonna leave.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what he was talking about. And we actually won a woods ball tournament to T. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember. It was at SC.
Yeah.
And like,
dude, we cashed out on that.
So I already played an event with you guys. I'm like, what are you talking about? You know?
Yeah.
And Joey called me and was like, hey, we're gonna give you some real money. Like, are you gonna be interested? I'm like, well, how much? As long as it's $1 more. I'm just kidding. No. And then Impact was also, I think a year prior to that, I almost actually went to Impact. Like,
wow.
they sent me a jersey and everything. Like, Bart called me and was like, hey, we'll give you this. I was like, oh shit, because this was 2011, 12. I didn't make anything playing with Dynasty. Like, they gave me a gun or so, whatever. And they're gonna now they're gonna give me some money. I'm like, okay. And but anyways,
that's the cool thing about Dynasty is, they support their players.
Yes.
I know that they've told all of us, like, yo,
it is what it is.
If it's gonna be good for you, you'll always have a spot back here.
Yeah,
and
that's cool too.
I'm not kind of on both sides of the fence of that whole thing, but I totally
There's
support.
some players that can't come back.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, it's like, we want to make sure that you're going to be okay. We want to make sure that your life is going to be better. And that's a beautiful thing, to have friends, teammates, organization that supports you like that.
And I wasn't okay. I had a huge drug problem and I loved alcohol. So I needed money. So
That's
I'm
right.
just kidding.
You got to feed it.
Just kidding, mama.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
But
that's a joke. It's a joke.
So yeah. And I almost went to Impact one of those years. And then I talked to Alex and he convinced me to stay with his wit and his charm. But and then I went to Damage. I went to yeah. I went to Damage. Damage cut the fun, so I went back to Dynasty. Which I feel like a hot girlfriend that you guys keep taking me back.
Yeah, yeah. We love you.
Just stop lying to us, Dalton. Just stop cheating. Stop cheating.
You just
stop lying.
You can't resist that ass.
You're
boy.
always on the phone with another girl. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
With another guy.
Yeah.
If it's the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Well, either one, actually. Who knows? It's 2020.
Back to Dynasty. I think that was 15. So that was the year we were all playing together at that time. And Oliver came back for Cup. And man, what a great story that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was special.
Oh my God. It felt like a movie. Like, that weekend was like one of the best weekends of my life. And the crazy thing is, Sunday, I didn't even play that much. I was playing the snake in that field. Marcelo was holding down the Dorito side. It was kind of a slower, methodical field, but I didn't even play that much. And that was one of my best wins, which is crazy. And maybe I became more of a team player starting then, which I'm proud of.
And we won 2 tournaments that weekend. Actually, we won the what was that format that they had us play in the beginning?
Like
it was the 2 pot.
500.
The 2 pod.
2 pot score.
Limited
which I think
paint.
Is cool.
Yeah. I like limited paint for sure.
I would
Maybe
be
4.
totally on board with 4. Yes. 4. I think that if we capped it at 4, that's the perfect amount, and you get a lot of creativity and still be able to play paintball with
Not so much bounce.
Dude, I fucking cannot stand bounce ball. That shit drives me nuts.
Ball.
I do
it.
I
like it.
I know. There's a lot of people.
But
to me,
part of the game.
Yeah, the back guys love it, but it's just like, as a spectator, when I'm watching paintball, I don't want to see someone get shot on a bounce shot. Like, oh, that's super thrilling. He got shot on a bounce shot. It's like,
I think 4 or even maybe 5 is something in there. Like, I would like that, but.
Yeah, I mean that wouldn't eliminate bounce shots though, and that's bounce shots are something that is, if you understand the game, you understand that that's actually a really hard thing to do, and so when I watch games, I people say that they really hate the long, boring points, but those are some of the most interesting for me because they're really complex actually, and there's a lot going on. But I understand that that's not the average viewer too. You know what I mean? Like like the more difficult stuff. The average viewer just wants to see crash and bash,
carnage,
carnage. So I get that as well, but
yeah. And I do understand that it is, and I use them. Like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
totally.
gonna say, like I
Yeah.
play them, I use them. But for me, like I like to think of paintball as like I want paintball to be viewed by the masses, and I don't want the masses to see people get peeled out off of like a ricochet shot. I want people getting shot square in the goggles, face up. Like that
It,
stuff is thrilling to me.
I do think it would be cool and thrilling. Again, it goes back to not having split deck and having 2 minutes in between points to where you could do instant replays with the telestrator
Yeah.
and kind of explain what
Mhm.
happened. But if there was a
Totally.
sweet bounce shot and you had it on film and you could actually show the viewers
Yeah.
like the shot, they'd be like,
Yeah.
whoa, what?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just shot it off
It
the
is cool.
bunker into someone? Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it would actually highlight it and be cool. But right now we just
Mhm.
don't have that kind of technology
Yeah.
and ability, unfortunately.
That's true. That's
Well,
true.
we have the technology. It's more the funding and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And we're also stuck doing this split deck dance, which is
Dude.
get me out of
Yeah,
here.
and that just stifles the inertia that a natural paintball game has, the momentum
Yeah,
that,
totally.
like when I'll never forget when they started that split deck. It was like, hold on, I gotta sit here for 2 minutes.
Yeah. It's the
Like what?
worst.
Bro, are you kidding?
Or 8 minutes,
Yeah,
you know? You gotta
And then
sit
you,
for
yeah,
8
you
minutes.
set a point. You're like,
Oh yeah,
might
and
as well-
if you sit a point, yeah.
I might as well not even play. What the fuck? Is this?
I'm just gonna go get ready for the next match.
Yeah.
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 It's the
Dude,
worst.
Yeah,
It is pretty crazy.
we'll see.
But,
I think that there's a lot of people that agree, but it's just the time, the time management. They have to
Oh,
keep
absolutely.
these games going.
It's
Yeah.
purely from a funding point of view. It is
Mhm.
efficient. You can run more games on one field, and that's it. That's the only
That's it.
benefit that it has, and I do understand that the league needs to do that right now. I hope that we can get to a point to where they don't need to do that and we can expand a little bit, because I think it'll help the growth of the viewership for sure.
Yeah. All right, take us into Damage, Dalty. What was that like playing with Damage? You got to play under Paul Richards before.
No, he was gone.
Okay. Was it SK
It
that
was
you were?
SK.
Shout out SK,
Yeah.
and rest in peace, Paul Richards. What a great
Yeah.
man. What an astounding coach as well, and SK as well as
SK was
Rockstar.
yeah.
Yeah, what was it like playing for SK? I do want to talk about that, because again, you've played for a lot of different top coaches.
That's
Kind of-
right.
Yeah, I have. That's because between Mike, Greg, even Rich Stelford for a year.
Yeah,
Damn.
and
Dave
then,
Baines.
Rusty.
Dave, yeah, Rusty. So
Dude, you've
so
seen
it
them
is-
all.
it is crazy, like all the different personalities and the way people coach, and you can learn so much from coaches. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and that's one big thing about paintball. It's like you got to pick people's brain and
Yes.
listen. And I heard you guys talking about it with Ryan yesterday, but you guys, or whenever you guys did it, but
Mhm.
you can learn so much from anybody. Like I can
Mhm.
learn from new people playing the game. And but
That's right.
anyways, coaches do have a lot of knowledge and they've been around the game and they watch the game. So, but
Yeah.
SK was one of those guys, which I started to appreciate. Like that team, there was no like ramping up, getting up for the game. It was just do your job. And
Mhm.
they were all very talented, fundamental based players, because it's so weird, like East Coast, West Coast, Russia, like there's so much
Mhm.
different styles, but
Yeah.
a lot of technique is
They work
the
hard.
main. Yeah, they work hard, and they
Do
do drills. And shout out to Jason Edwards, he's posting those snap shooting drills.
Yeah,
those are cool, man. Those are
They
really
are.
good for you.
I
And
agree.
but
More
yeah.
paintball. That's dude, like we need everybody. We talk about this all the time. Like we need everybody to be giving it their all at helping us boost paintball in any way they can. Get
Mhm.
out there, make videos, dude, do whatever you can to boost this thing and get it going for the community.
Yeah. So damn it. I think we got a second in cup that year. We lost 7-0 to Art Chaos.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad. And
They
that
were
was
They
yeah,
were
they-
badass.
they're cool. And that was another weekend where I like totally blew my knee out. I don't know what the heck
Oof.
happened. And I think it was against Ironman or someone. But I was still going after and still playing, and that in that finals I was hurting pretty bad. But
Jeez.
Yeah, you guys beat us in the semifinals. that year.
yes, so it was you
Yeah.
guys.
Uh-huh.
And we had this like
Damn.
crazy chiropractor dude that just like pulled my leg and it like popped. I'm like, oh, I'm good now. I don't know what he
Wow.
did, but I think
Yeah.
it's fucked up from there. I'm just kidding.
He did damage.
Yeah, he did damage. So yeah,
Yeah.
and then back to Dynasty and
Mhm.
So what happened in 16? Did we do all right?
We did not. And so actually, I think we all probably have our views on why not, but why do you think we didn't? Yeah, we won World Cup. Oliver decides to come back and stay with us for 2016. And I think we had 11 guys on the roster. It's pretty, it's kind of tough to manage as well, but we didn't do that well in 2016. I don't think we even got to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, yeah. So, I mean, really.
We did. We got to finals in Ohio against Impact and lost, I think.
Yeah. So that's kind of like around the time frame people really started getting better. There's Heat and Impact, and all these teams are just getting so much better. There's like, there's a lot of teams now that you're competing against instead of one or two. Now
I love
it's
that.
like
It's competitive.
6 or 7. Yeah. Well, now it's all of them pretty much, but yeah, anyways.
So how do you think Dynasty groomed you, like coming up, when you first got on Dynasty, grooming you for success, to make these jumps into these other organizations? Do you think that there was any particular players that gave you a lot of insight, or any big cornerstones of knowledge that you learned from any aspect?
So like you guys had Alex on your podcast, and he always loves to take credit for every freaking player that's ever. They'll play one tournament with Dynasty, and all of a sudden Alex is like taught them everything they know. But it's like when I got on Dynasty in 2011, that was probably the best year of paintball I played, and
it was because of Alex Frazier.
But obviously, you learn so like we said before, just listening and taking in information, and obviously from Ryan and all those guys, you're gonna learn a lot. And Oliver,
Alex.
Mainly Alex. But Oliver was huge, and Oliver, I don't know why he took a big liking to me, and I don't know why he liked me so much, but he was always there to help me out.
I don't either.
Yeah. And he really made me do that whole just get down the field, play the freaking tape, rap. I remember there was times in practice where I would look inside and start shooting a lane, and he'd go like that's not what he wanted me to do.
Yeah.
And that helped a lot too. Like that's huge. If you could just battle heads up, and you want to be that player that gets down the field, like don't even look inside. It's like even get to their back corner and then look inside. It's like
by rapping their back corner.
Yes,
you
just
know.
rap.
Yeah. What's
never even.
It's funny, Dal. Tyler and I have been teaching some pro schools together. We both coach teams as well. And that's been a philosophy that I personally have taught for so long to Dorito players or Snake players, is the rap and go mentality. And Oliver, Shane Pistana, and Mike Hinman were really the ones that always instilled that into me. And that like has become a cornerstone. When you watch the best attackers, that's what they do. They don't sit there and get caught up looking inside, trying to get a kill on someone's pack or something. They get down the field. They're worried about the person in front of them first. They shoot that person, and then they systematically work down the field, and play the tape. And you get behind people that way, and
it's like a football game almost. You got to move the chains. You want to keep taking that 10 yards, 10 yards, 10 yards. Yeah. And obviously there's going to possibly be a guy in the middle or heads up that's going to try and stop you, but work your ass off to shoot that full or put him in and keep going, Don't, and then that's like that what's stopping you mentality, right? We talk about that all the time, Marshy, when we do our pro schools, is like, what is stopping you?
Yeah.
You're stopping you. You're the only thing stopping you. So get your ass rapping and moving, and let's go. Let's move these chains,
And that's my favorite thing back guys say. You hear it all the time. The back guy goes, "Hey, what's stopping you? What do you need?"
Yeah.
And that's like in a front player's eyes, you're like, sometimes that like gets
that's
you
all
like,
you need.
Shit.
It's all you need. Like, dude,
Yeah.
if you could put this dude in, that'd be great. And then we could go and win this game.
Yes.
And
That's
But
right.
often you don't even need anything though. That's what's funny. And then as experienced as you might be, as a front player, that often nothing is even stopping you other than yourself, but still just that voice of, hey, Marcelo or Dalton, Tyler, what's stopping you? Like, oh wait, here we go. Okay. Nothing. I'm going, I'm in the 50 now. I'm rapping. I'm doing the right thing,
That's true too. Yeah.
I have the text messages right here this morning. Rusty texted me this quote in a book, and it's like asking better questions, like that connectivity with yourself and with the others around you to formulate the best questions that produce the best answers for the organization so that we can get the results that we need. We need fucking wins. So get your ass down the field and go get these guys so we can win these tournaments. You know what I mean? And what's stopping you? Let's go, you know?
And that's the cool thing about paintball, because I mean, depending on the layout and all that BS and the bounce shots and yada, 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 but ultimately attacking is going to win majority of the games. And that's the thing I love about paintball.
Especially now with these fields that they've created with, bro, are you kidding me? When I started in 7-man, they had 2 car washes. We got 6 of them on an X ball field now. You know what I'm saying? So
you could figure something out, dude.
There's so many opportunities on these new fields that they've created, more so than ever. And they've designed it this way to where the attackers are winning.
And a lot of the teams that are winning, like Ironman in Vegas, like they won through the center, and A-Rod,
that's right,
pretty much was their attack, which center is typically known for get there and hold a lane and hold this. But like you shoot a guy, you could get dirty, man. Yeah.
And that's what he does just as good as anybody, if not the best in the league. He's one of the best shooters off the break. And he knows a plan of attack. He's going to try and shoot this guy off the break and then split a seam and he finds this opening that most people don't even know exists, but he's already calculated that. He knows, I'm going to shoot this guy off the break. It's going to create this opportunity. I'm going to come up here, smoke this guy, and then I'll take 3 of them out. You guys get the last couple and we win that point, you know?
Yeah. That goes back to like we were talking about with the ice skating and snowboarding. It's like in practice, you got to go for it sometimes and find those holes. You're going to get shot. You're going to get bunkered. You're going to get this, but you got to find out.
It's a good point. Yeah. When I'm coaching teams, I fly out to New York for practices, not just events now. It's really cool that I've gotten to work with this New York team so much, but that's the way we structure practices as well. You know, it's constant. Let's put ourselves in position to where we're going way faster than we would want to play in the tournament, right? Because that's the only way that you're going to figure out what you can get away with. You know, we have plays where we're sending 2 guys to the other side of the field essentially within 20 seconds. But then you figure out, okay, if this happens, this opportunity does open up. If you just sit back and play 5-on-5 paintball and you're just kind of shooting and trying to communicate the whole time, you never get to explore those opportunities. You never get to see if you can get away with it. And when you need it in the event, you don't have it in your arsenal.
Exactly.
Yeah, Ryan, I like that Ryan, even yesterday, Moorhead, when we were talking about, he's like, we want reps. We want to, you know, when we start on a field, we're not here to try and be the champions at practice. You know, we want reps. We want to see how the flow of the field is going to go, because every field has a different flow and everything presents different opportunities and different moments that you can capture. So you want to just get as many reps as you can to get the flow and figure out how this is going to start to formulate, you know?
And I like what he was saying about, you know, finding your position on the field, like individually, like there's positions for everyone and people that are good at this or that. It's like, maybe we didn't do that too well on Dynasty back in the day, but there are, even me, like I could play the snake sometimes, but it also depends on what the snake is or what it looks like. Or
for sure.
That's
100%.
Right. Dude, sometimes Big Daddy goes to the snake too, you know?
Yeah, sometimes T's in there.
Well, and it's also, you were talking about World Cup. That World Cup was a methodical Dorito side, you know? And so I went over there instead of you, a faster attacker, you know? And it is absolutely about, where is this player going to produce the most for the team, you know? And that's really what a good coach can recognize as well, you know, is you got to be able to pull players from certain spots, put the right packages in together, you know, which is why I'm so excited. You know, we're going to have 3 weeks of grinding together and kind of figuring out, I wish the layout was out now. I just want something to study and be working towards with you guys. Like when the layout drops, everything else in my life disappears, you know. It's all about that layout, you know. Like, man, I do love it.
It's also like UFC when like you got a wrestler in there and like all of a sudden he wants to bang and stand up with Connor and gets his wig split. It's like, dude, you're a wrestler. That was our game plan, man. What's wrong with you?
It's a good analogy actually in fights. Like somebody's like, okay, well, no, I'm gonna try to play your game. No, you know, do your game.
And it goes to ego and all that.
You're right. Yeah,
totally.
100%.
And then Connor's fighting Mayweather with boxing gloves on.
That's when you got Frank Cano playing Snake 1. You're like, wait a minute, I know you're good, but let's figure this out.
Yeah,
Yep.
let's figure it out.
That's
All
awesome,
right,
dude.
Dalt, 2016 comes around. Dynasty doesn't do that well. Is that part of the reason you left, or was it purely
Well,
monetary, or what was what
it
kind
was mainly because of you. I'm just kidding.
I thought we'd move past that.
No, no.
Hey,
No.
I'm the reason you left and the reason you came back, so it's a
Yeah.
good story.
Yeah, that's true. That's crazy. So yeah, like I said, Impact was always taking a liking to me, and I played with ML Kings in Europe, and they called me Euro Adult out there,
Mhm.
and I
You
played
played
with
good
this.
with the Kings over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and we beat Heat a few times. I think we took 2 seconds, and it's a team that's they're pretty decent players now, but 4 or 5 years ago they were literally new
They were
pro
very
team.
fresh. Yes,
Right.
very fresh, dude.
So and that was so much fun. I love playing every point, and that's when I feel like, I mean, every paintball player could agree. It's like you do get in a groove. If you're playing good, if you're just sucking, you're sucking. But if you
Mhm.
could get in a groove, you're dialing your shots off the break. You're dialing your runs. You're dialing in your battles. Like you get in a good groove. And in Europe, I found that groove, and yeah, so that's when Impact was really, really trying to come after it. Then
Mhm.
I think it's the more experienced players get
Yeah.
into a groove, right? The younger players, you can use them as utility players.
Yeah.
Because there is no guarantee that more reps are going to make them play better. But the more experienced players, the more looks they get against a team in a certain match, they absolutely get into a groove, because you start to figure out the way people are shooting, the flow of how the other attacker on your side wants to play, the type of secondary moves the other two wants to make. You can figure that stuff out a lot better with experience, with more reps.
And the other side of it, like there's tournaments, like, so when I did get to Impact, I think I played I want to say about 19 events with them or so, because I played Europe for 2 years and Excel. And there was some tournaments where I didn't play. Majority of the tournaments I was on the starting lineup, and that was actually one of the goals I had when I got on that team. I'm like, at Cup, I want to be one of the five. Like, I just want to be a starter. I want to play, and I always did. And there was a few tournaments where I didn't. And if I'm not playing and it's Sunday and I didn't play like the first 5 points, like, don't put me in. Like, I just know myself. I'm like, I'm not that player that just comes off. I mean, sits for 5 games and just is going to go in and stunt. Like, I take a lot of risk. It's just, I need to be warmed up, and I just know myself. I don't know why. Yeah.
Mhm. Well, it's good, dude. You got to
It's
know
kind of a
yourself.
bummer.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think,
dude, go
real
ahead,
quick,
Marcia.
I think that World Cup, you guys beat us in the finals, 2017, where you did get the starting job. And the thing you did the absolute best was starting early.
Yeah. You fucker.
Dude, I was shooting
I remember
everybody
that.
going to that side of the field. And there's this one point in specific
You were
where it
like,
was
"You
like a
already
super
there."
close game. I swear to God, the horn blew and you're already diving into the margarita. I was like, dude, get some refs on this guy.
Oh my
What's
God.
going
Dude,
on?
he was playing the game,
Got to
baby.
play the edge.
J-Rab openly admitted it on the show with Go Sports
Yeah,
too,
saw
that
that.
Impact, like, you guys always started early essentially. But hey, that was part of the game. It really was.
Yeah,
With
I'm
the
so
way the
happy that's
buzzers were.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Because it's it was something that was so easy to do,
And
and
it's one of those things, like, if one person's doing it, like Mouse was the start of it. Like, we all
Yeah.
have to do it now. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna look
Exactly.
even better.
Yeah,
Mhm.
totally.
Yep. Dude, good for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right. So here we go. Keep going.
but there was a lot to be learned on Impact, like the consistency, and because, like I said, you're not getting all the reps you can be or should be because the team's pretty deep. But
Mhm.
I did want to learn that aspect of the game where I could just come off the bench and play pretty consistent. And I think it's kind of unfortunate because it goes against my style of play, but you do have to play a little smarter, a little slower.
Well, I actually think that is when you really started to evolve, though, and become one of the best. So you're always an elite attacker, but you became one of the top paintball players. And it's the same thing that happened with Mouse, same thing that happened with Chad George.
Yes.
Those attackers that, like, once they started to realize the pace of slowing it down when needed, now, fuck, okay, so this player can be dominant in any situation.
Right.
that's a game changer,
That's
instead of,
the next level. Yeah.
yeah, it is. It really is. That's the hardest thing for players, younger players coming up to really master, because it takes a lot of experience. It takes a lot of understanding the clock. You talk about the clock. The clock is so crucial. You got to understand the clock, the situation, the score, what your team needs. It's all so important.
And it's like so simple to learn now, obviously in hindsight, but it's like I said with that game where you guys won the breakout and were up 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not mistaken, like somebody went down the field and had a bad death, and Revo came back on you guys. But it's like all you had to do is sit there and talk and let them come to you.
Yep.
Obviously, that's not always like pushing is usually the case, but when you're up points, you're up on time and you're up bodies. Like there's a lot of scenarios where it's like it's gonna be hard for them to dig you out. So
Dude, that shit drives me crazy when we make bad decisions and like, oh my God, because it's we're just throwing the game straight out the window. It's like they didn't beat us, we beat ourselves. And you know what, Dalton, you have one of the most nonchalant, carefree styles of paintball that I've ever seen. And it works for you. And it's very refreshing in a world so full of anxiety and like all this too much thinking and applied pressure on themselves. Where did you learn how to have this like nonchalant style? Like where did you get that?
I don't know particularly. Like I hear a lot of people say that. I heard you say that. I heard Miles say that. A lot of people tell me that. And I mean, I can't really put a finger on it. I think
it's just how you are. It's just your upbringing.
It's just how I am. But also like I'm kind of playing against myself, and there's a lot of scenarios, and even later in my game, and when I became more like just better all around, like I tried to be mistake free, and and I'm really just playing against myself. I'm not even thinking like this dude or that dude. Like if I have a move, and I used to tell Brandon Cornell, like, dude, we're in the finals. Like, be the guy. Just go for it. Why don't you just be the guy that is the MVP and you won and you went for it? I mean, obviously, if you have it, take it, and you could take risks though. Like a lot of people are scared to take risk, and I've never been scared to take risks because I've been the guy that's like, dude, you won it for us, and I've been the guy that like, oh, you kind of blew it for us, but
no one remembers those though.
Yeah, but if you could just be that one guy that few times in those points or those games, they're gonna remember those games. So
I think, and this is just my assessment of it, is you actually are just really mature for even though you don't always come off that way. It actually is a real maturity in your game that you challenge yourself to the fullest, but you also understand you're playing a game, and that gives you a little bit of freedom to go out there and explore and be creative and do stuff that has made you one of the best, and that does take a maturity of understanding, as much as this means to me, it is still just us playing a game.
Yeah.
And that's an important thing to understand as well. I personally have been way too in my head in the past, and don't want to make this mistake, or I let something eat me up too much. And, in one hand, that's part of what has driven me to be where I am today. But on the other hand, some of my best moments are when I'm able to let that go. And I do look up to you in a lot of aspects with stuff like, I again, you mentioned this on Maddie's, you said the Heat game. I think this is the game you were talking about.
Dude, that was the game that me and I was like, Dalton, you ready, buddy? And then we sent it.
No.
Was it? The one I'm thinking of was a 2-on-1, I think.
No.
Yeah.
It was
Vegas, overtime.
3-on-2, and me and Tyler were on the same side, right, with each other. But like,
okay,
there's situations, and it happened a lot in that game where, like we talked about it earlier, it's like you're down, you have nothing to lose. And like I was watching your tactics video, Marcelo, and you talked about it. It's like you got to kind of go for it early before they're kind of doing chaos control.
Yeah, for sure.
And if
little window of opportunity.
And there's in paintball, like you really can't be thinking. Like you just go and do it. Like and I've been in so many situations, which, like we said, you just go down the mountain. You just always just keep sending it, dude, and you're gonna learn, and you're gonna know the timing, and it's gonna pay off.
All of the thinking and mental preparation and decisions and stuff like that should be made before the game, if that makes sense. And then when you're playing, you're just reacting. And all this
Yeah.
stuff's already stored in your mind, you know, okay, if I shoot this guy, this is my opportunity. If this guy makes it to here, this is what I should do. You know, all this stuff should already be in there. And then sometimes you throw all that out the window too. You just close your eyes and run down the field. But
Tyler, I did want to know like what was going through your mind, like watching that and like back
Yeah.
there, because
I already knew we were gonna win. Yeah. Well, I knew we were down bodies, and I knew we had to just go for it. And I had this guy set up perfectly, and I felt you. It's just like we said, the energy. I just felt you wanting it. I felt us wanting it, and I'm like, yes, go, go, go. And then you just took it and ran with it, and we won it. And it was like, yeah, baby.
what,
You know,
what,
it's just
what event was this?
Vegas.
Vegas, 2016. Okay, it
yeah,
was.
and then we
on
lost
Sunday.
Impact.
That's right.
Yes, we
Okay.
lost Impact.
Yeah. Totally.
And I was burnt out, I think, after that game. I blew my load there.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it was, you know, it's just like you said, it's we do the work prior. That way, when you're on the field, you're not crunching numbers. We already knew we were gonna win. We knew how to win these things, and it's just, you know, sending it, like Dalton said, fucking throw that thing down the field and let's just roll with it, you know, and it works.
Well, and another thing, you know, you brought back Billy Bernaccia getting bounced going into the snake in that event, and then he goes down and shoots 4. Like I always tell people at the same time in paintball, you got to make them shoot you. I can't tell you how many times I feel like I'm a pretty damn good shot, holding lane, stuff like that. Something I'm pretty good at. And a player will just run through it. And I'm like, wait, what? You know, he just ran through. I was literally shooting that lane, and then he comes down and shoots people, you know? So at the same time as a front player, you just got to make it happen. You just got to go and roll the dice sometimes.
Dude, Dalton, what's your favorite aspect of paintball? Like what keeps inspiring you to play top level paintball? I know you love us and you want to be, you know, out there with us, but like what inspires you to be great and what drives you?
Well, as much as I like been listening to you guys and like Alex and you guys, I hear you talk about like just having fun and all that. Like, to be on,
yeah,
I don't want to have fun. I want to win.
I don't either, dude.
I don't even care.
I'm done
if,
having fun.
Yeah, maybe that's from Aftermath. No fun, just whatever.
Yeah. Dude, winning is fun. We always had fun when we won.
Yes. Full circle. Now I'm going back to my old ways of thinking on Aftermath, like win at all costs.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter. Like, and that's another thing, like with playing wise, like if because you're practicing before these events. So like on the field, you're showcasing what you've learned and what you've practiced. So if you don't got it, there's times people just are better than me, and I could live with that. So all I'm doing is just showcasing what I've been working for, what I've been practicing. Like I'm not trying to make magic out here. I'm just doing what I know to do. So but
easy money. Easy money. Yeah, dude.
But what was it that, and I think I could probably even answer it, but just knowing the type of person you are, it's competition. But what, you know, were you missing the most about playing paintball? Again, like you had, to me, talking to you, it seems like you're hungrier than ever, right? You want to come back and really, you know, prove something and play at the highest level, probably better than you've ever played for the next 3 or 4 or 5 years. So what fueled that, being away from the game for a year?
I have a lot of like reasons, and I've told myself reasons, I told my wife reasons, and I've told you guys reasons. And obviously it's a mixture of everything, because well, one, like you have to have purpose in life and you want to get better. And then the kids, like I have this full-time job, I have this crazy commute, these weird hours, I'm getting fat. Like I needed motivation to be like my best self, and not for myself, but also for my kids to see that. And and have them see me doing something I love. And that's kind of what was the very kickstart of the motivation. Wow. And then obviously just being cooped up and just wanting that competition. Honestly, yeah.
Bro, life is not the same without paintball. It just isn't. And I think that you've really experienced that. I think that you really fully understand how important it is on a spiritual, mental, physical level to have that competition, to have that brotherhood, all of us clicked up. You know, it's like life just isn't the same without paintball. It isn't.
Yeah. You need something. Everyone needs something, man. Like,
yeah.
And as far as like being healthy, and it's crazy because I did go through, like I was saying, with all those crazy work schedule and the kids. And like, now you're adding in like fast food, because what the hell am I going to eat?
That's right.
So now you're adding in fast food, and this shitty town has McDonald's or Taco Bell. So you're adding in bad decisions, and you're just weighing yourself down in it. And I've felt so much better, like losing a little bit of weight, eating better, having something to look forward to. Like life is like, it's just brighter now, and then I appreciate it already.
Yeah, I mean, even with sorry, Ty. Yeah, but even with with COVID, you know, we didn't know when the next tournament was going to be in. So, you know, I set up a little workout station in my living room. The gyms are closed. I'm still going out and trying my hardest to make sure that I can have something to train for, stay a little fit, but it's just not the same. Not the same. And then once they announced World Cup is for sure happening, here we go. You have this goal, you have something on the calendar, something to strive for. That's how I've been my whole life. I've always had something that I'm chasing as far as a goal, you know. Okay, it's Vegas. We're getting ready for Vegas. And here's my structure for the 2 months, 3 months leading up to that event. That's so important for people to have. And I you know, for me, it's always been paintball. And I'm going to have to find something afterwards. You know, maybe that will be the transition with golf. Who knows? But there always has to be something that you're striving for. Otherwise you do get complacent. You know, it's really easy to, you know, just going to the gym just to go to the gym for me doesn't necessarily work because that's like ego, I guess. I don't know. I don't need it to look good. I'm doing it because I want to achieve something, you know, something real. And so, yeah, you know, I think it's important for people to have that kind of stuff in their life as a cornerstone. And I so proud, like you both of your kids are going to get to grow up and see their dad succeed in something that is very abstract and outside of the box and passionate and something that you guys love. And that's one of the most important messages you can send to your kids. I'll tell you what, because growing up, my dad was always the same way, not really so much with sports. He wasn't in the best shape or health condition, but he always had these just insane out of the box business projects. You know, he never worked for anybody. He always was his own entrepreneur, whether it was getting cars from auctions or having like a hot dog stand at the paintball field. Like it was always these really strange things, but he made him work. And that shaped my entire personality, I think, you know? And so what you guys are doing for your children, you might not even realize how important it is, but it's so crucial.
Yeah, dude, you're right. My son, he always tells me, cause it's something that I tell him, like I always tell him Harmon's never quit. And, he will tell me that sometimes. And I'm like, oh, wow. You know, he's 5 years old and he'll tell me Harmon's never quit. And I'm like, dude, let's go. Let's go.
Powerful, dude. Powerful.
Yeah.
And with like health and life, like we don't really know how much like it has an effect on your life. Like just the stress and the depression and there's so much, man. It's like,
yes. Well, Dalton, that's the norm. That's what's going on out here.
And I know, and I see it because I work with these guys that are like, say they're like 45 and they're like, hey, I'm going to retire in this amount of years. I'm like, motherfucker, you look like you should have been retired 10 years ago. You look like shit. But like, I don't want to be like, I think, you know, you learn from other people's mistakes because you can't make them all yourself. And I see people I don't want to be like, and that goes with the drinking stuff and the drugs. Like I saw people go down that hole. I see people drink, and I don't even need to try it because I could see what it's like, and I know what it's going to be. And that's how it is with work for me. And I see these overweight guys, which, you know, they're living their best life and they're eating, and that's just not for me. Maybe it is for them, but
yeah, well, they're not living their best life though. Yeah, you know, I know what you mean. That's an in jest saying these days, but you know, people don't realize how they're poisoning themselves, and not just their physical body, it's their mental body as well. Like the mental makeup of individuals is largely dependent on the nutrients that you take in. It really is. It's so important to have the right ingredients going in. Tyler, I know you're a huge proponent of this. You talk about it all the time. It's so important, you know, for anxiety, depression, all this kind of stuff that majority of Americans are honestly fighting against. They don't realize that they're just doing it to themselves every day by what they put inside their body.
More now than ever, we are in some very shaky times right now. And, you know, this is going to sound wild, but there's no money to be made in healthy, happy people. So the way that the paradigm that we're a part of is set up is to make you unhappy and unhealthy so that I can capitalize off of you. It's a capitalistic paradigm that we live in. And so you're in a war that you're not even aware of that's being waged on you. And if you don't wake up, it will get you.
And
It's very powerful.
and it's so clear to me because I've been on both sides of it, and I've been like a super healthy person, and I still go up and down like anyone. But like, so I've been on this diet, and I, I just basically didn't eat for a while. I reset all my
Yes.
because you do have cravings. If you like go a day and just don't eat, you're like just
Mhm.
fight that hunger. Your
Mhm.
cravings get reset, and your body's like, hey, I want some good food now.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
and it's like it's tough, man. But like I wish I could shake people because I've been
Mhm.
on both sides, and I see now, like, so I've been doing really good. Like I'm eating just
Yeah.
everything right, like
Mhm.
perfect. Like for me, I eat what makes me feel good. I could eat a steak and some asparagus or broccoli, or
Mhm.
for in the morning I could eat eggs and avocados. I
Mhm.
just eat what makes me feel good, right?
Mhm.
And then the other day I was like, I've been really good, and my wife, it's hard with kids and a wife, but she
Of
got
course.
pizza, and maybe it was me trying to tell her to get pizza because I wanted a cheat meal because
Yeah.
you deserve cheat meals, right?
Oh yeah.
And I felt like shit. I had like five pizzas, like 10 chicken wings.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And dude, the next day I felt hungover. Like
Yeah.
my
Uh-huh.
head was like throbbing, and
Mhm.
like, and when you go healthy for a while, you add in those bad foods, you're like, holy shit. And
Mhm.
like
Absolutely.
your patience is gone, like with kids, your wife, like
Mhm. Mhm.
you're tired, you can't sleep right. Like there's so much, man, you don't
Mhm.
know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you feel dense, right? You feel
Yes.
heavy. Your cognition is
Yes.
heavier. Everything is heavier when you're
Right.
eating
Heavy. That's a good.
properly.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, you feel dense and heavy. And when you're eating properly, when you're drinking tons of water,
Hmm.
when you feel light, you feel expressionate, you're transparent. The things that maybe would make you more edgy roll right off you, and you just feel light. And I mean that in every sense of the word. You feel like a beam of light. You feel light on your toes. And it's I personally, I eat meat as well, but I try to eat like 75 to 80% plant-based
Yeah.
with like an accent 20%. So maybe one meal out of the day I'll have some meat, but the other two, or maybe I won't even eat meat at all in the day, but I do eat meat, at least one meal a day, or maybe every other day, because I feel super light and I
Hmm.
feel charged. And I don't know if it's because the light goes into the plants and then it transfers into me. I don't know what it is, but it's a light feeling. And I breathe in sunlight. I
Yep.
sit in the sun and I close my
You breathe.
eyes and I let the sun penetrate my forehead and hit the center of my head, and I breathe in light. I've read that the Egyptians did this in their time, and they would be fed off of this light source called prana. There's so much energy in it, and there's actually food that you get your body. You don't understand. Your human body is designed to receive this. There's just so much going on that we're not aware of. But yeah, you want to leave yourself feeling light and charged, right? And a lot of these things that we do to ourselves make us super dense. All the TV, the
Yep.
internet, the food, the heaviness, you just start to get bombarded and heavy.
For the listeners that might think some of that is hocus pocus,
Mm-hmm.
the results speak for themselves, man. Look at what Tyler's accomplished. Look at
Mm,
how dominant he is on the
Yeah.
field. Look at his energy. It's unmatched,
mm.
And so all these little practices that he does, if you think they don't pay off, you're fooling yourself.
Yeah,
And being
good.
one of his teammates for this long, I'm like, I need to go outside and breathe some sunlight right now.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna go do that as soon as this show's over. I'm gonna go breathe some
Yeah,
sunlight.
that's
And
where
it
I'm
Swear to
headed right
God.
after the
Yeah.
show.
and
Yeah.
it all adds up, and
Yeah.
like little things, like I'm not very
Yes.
spiritual, and I've never been how Oliver was in my ear back in the day, because like I
Mhm.
said, he liked me, and he wanted me. Yeah, people are gonna tell people because they want to prove to themselves a certain way or certain things right. And some of this stuff didn't sit with me, like
Mm-hmm.
personally, like the spiritual stuff, or like
Mhm.
the
Mm-hmm.
sunlight stuff I actually do get, so I don't want to say
Totally.
that.
Yeah.
Totally.
But anyways, there's stuff like everyone's different, and you got to
Yeah.
do what you're gonna do. And like it's just there's so much you could be doing, and all those little things add up, dude.
That's the key, Dalton. And it is a little bit of hocus pocus, but it's like when you feel like I've done it and I've not done it, like you said, I've experienced both sides.
Yes, that's the
And
key.
that's the key, is having an eclectic overview
Hmm.
of what the realities
Data.
can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the experimentation. And I've studied with Oliver as well. We've been reborn together. He came to Mount Shasta with me, and we
Hmm.
went into an indigenous you know, tribal type thing, and we went into a sweat lodge, almost melted my face off. It was the craziest thing ever. And we jumped into an ice cold river together. You know,
And you
we've
learn. Yeah.
we've experienced, and you know, it is not, it's I don't know how to describe it. It has to be something that you just experiment with, and you'll see, once you feel the way that you feel after you do these things, that there's real tangible reality things that are based out of these weird things. But it's all about the breath, it's all about water, it's all about you recognizing that, you know, it's you and you alone, that is, you're battling it out with yourself, kind of, to you know,
It's
reach the
getting
highest
yourself
level.
off the ice skating rail. You know,
Yeah, dude, dive
dive in.
in, have some fun, you know, have fun with it too, and smile, enjoy yourself, enjoy your life. And then you're going to see the benefits from that, you know. You just got to smile a little bit more. People are, you know, it's a dense world. We got to
Yeah.
smile.
I like it, boys.
Yeah.
So, Dal, I think we're getting towards the tail end of your career up until this point. Um, I do kind of want to talk about Impact a little bit more because, again, some very successful years.
Yeah.
Just kind of, you know, for the listeners, like what practices were like, what it was like being on an organization where everyone is a hired gun, everyone's paid to play. It's considered your job, and you are expected to put in the work and show up. You know, everyone's kind of on a short leash over there as well. You know, so what was that like?
Yeah. And I do watch and listen a lot. Like I'm not a big talker. I mean, I'm a jokester and all that, and I don't. But you know, I do like to watch and listen and learn from people. And you know, they have a good system. Like so much credit to Dave Bart. Obviously, man, they deserve it, and they're just
Mm-hmm.
winners. And they've just people are winners. And most of the people that are on that top 6, 7, 8 teams we talk about, like they're all winners.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, well, it's hard because they've kind of collected all these groups of guys and they put them together. Obviously, they have the funds to do it,
Mm-hmm.
so they kind of built this thing, and they have a really good system of like they get these players like Mouse and me that are, you know, known for speed and going and being that threat, but then they also bring them back to reality and put them on a team, and it's a team game, and every scenario is different, and you could talk and we could go at this time, stay at this time. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
it's like those the fights we talk about, like they're really good at picking those, you know, what we're good at. Like we're a wrestler, we're going to wrestle you to the ground and pound.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to J Rad, because honestly, I used to call him Ryan 2.0. Like
Mm.
he's like he's
Smart.
I'll just say he's the best, honestly, in my opinion. And I
Mm-hmm.
played with a lot of good people. I played with Oliver, I played with Ryan, I played with Edwards brothers, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just like he's very, very, and he just makes it simple, and he's just a good gun battler. Obviously, that's like his known feature, but that team, like without him, and I'm like, oh shit, if he doesn't go to Cup, they're gonna. I don't want to say they're gonna struggle. They'll be all right, but
Mm.
he's
Yeah,
such an
I heard
amazing
that.
player.
And he is, dude. He's proven it over and over. His IQ is incredibly high. He consistently is winning situations that he shouldn't be, you
Hmm.
know. And he's done it, you know, so many times, and he's always been on one of the best teams. So that plays into it as well, you know. You when you're constantly in that kind of environment, it's a little. I don't want to say it's easier. I don't want to take anything away from him, but you're like breeding it, you know, you're breeding it. It's around you. Like that success is just
Yes,
constantly around you. What's going on with him potentially not going to Cup? I heard Mouse mention
I
that.
was actually gonna text him yesterday to see if I could get information for today, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even bother. But I heard, yeah, he's doing stuff with school and he can't make the practices. So whether
Mm,
he probably will be there, maybe he won't be at the practices.
gotcha.
He'll
But
be there.
he'll
I
be
would be
yeah,
surprised
he'll
if
be
he's
there.
not.
And like, and with we were talking about it before, like now they got A-Rod, which, you know, I would say it hurts Ironman, just say 20%, you know, or whatever. It hurts Ironman a lot, and it helps Impact. It helps them a little, not more than it hurts Ironman, but
Totally.
like, so it's gonna be cool to see how he fits in, because that system is hard. And when I did get on that team, I sat like the first few tournaments, and it was because you have to have that good mix of like attacking, and then when you're up bodies and doing this stuff, you have to know.
I still cannot believe that he did that.
I know.
And I'm just gonna come straight out and say he's gonna have a hard time with Impact because he's not the
I
best
think
team
so too.
player.
I think so too.
And like it's the A-Rod
'Cause he's a
show
free
wherever
ball,
he
yeah.
goes, and he deserves that because he's like a Malloy. That's the best way I can
Yes,
describe it.
Malloy would be bad on that team too. Yeah.
He's like a Malloy. Malloy, you're like, okay, we got 4 players set. Malloy, go have fun. You know, do what you do. You're gonna start on the Dorito side and whip a boomerang all the way around to the snake, and we'll see
It's
you
so
over there in a
true.
second. You know, so yeah, I'm completely shocked that he made that move. I understand. I've heard the details of why it happened. I still,
Well, because he wanted money. It's why he did it. He didn't do
yeah,
it because whatever. He wanted to get money. That's who
of
he is.
course, and good for him. You know,
Yeah.
I love A-Rod. I'm a big supporter of A-Rod. I'm just shocked. You know, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, dude, you just won with the Ironman, and then now you're gonna go and sit yourself on Impact. You know,
But
It was a really good situation on the Ironman for him.
Yeah,
It was his
yeah.
team. You
They
know,
were a
it's
good
his
team.
Sure.
So, yeah, it is.
And I was
tough.
excited to play against them. They're a good team. They've always been one of those rival teams. Like, I was happy. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to get out there and
yeah,
get
yeah.
after it.
Dude, because with what he had on the Ironman, he could be the free spirit that he is and run and rampant, do what he wants. That's just not the case on Impact.
Yeah. Speaking of like getting in flow, like how is it going to be when he has to play every other point or sit 3 and then play 1? Like it's going to be tough.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm so stoked for World Cup, boys. Let's go,
baby.
dude. I cannot wait for this tournament. Oh man, it's gonna be lit.
Well, fellas, we'll be seeing each other here in about 10 days.
Dude, I'm
Yeah, man.
honestly like I can't
Like a kid
explain
in the
how
candy
excited.
shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited too. What are you guys doing? Dalt, what are you doing to stay in shape and get those pizza boobs off?
Yeah, those fucking pizzas made me gain like 3 pounds.
Oh, dude.
I started this journey like, yeah, well, I'm pretty much where I wanted to be anyway, so I thought I would cheat a little bit. But yeah, I've been doing sprints and I got the gun set up finally. So
there we go.
Nice.
I just can't wait to shoot a gun and get out there. And like I said before, like when I'm there, and even more so now, like I'm gonna be there. Like I don't have the kids with me in Arizona. Like I'm gonna every second. Like I'm not gonna waste any time. And I think with having jobs and kids, like this teaches you, like if you want to be good at something, every second counts, man. Like
it's precious.
Yeah.
It's precious, dude. Yeah. Before we leave, I know there's a bunch of people out there that you inspire, dude. What's some advice that you have for players, teams, organizations that they can implement into their systems to win? Be lackadaisical, dude.
Just be crazy.
Just be crazy. Yeah. What would you say to them, dude?
Yeah, it's funny because I was doing those pro tips, like and everyone like
hilarious, dude.
I find myself like I just can't take myself too serious, and I think that's also one of the reasons maybe. I had some success and I'm not overwhelmed by stress and I just go after it because I'd never taken myself too serious. Just, enjoy it. And honestly, like we've been saying, like those little things off the field, like be a better person, be a best person you could be, healthy and just mentally sound. And when you get out to do whatever you want to do, sound like a motivational speaker. You're gonna be in that space to just succeed in every way, man. And paintball is so much fun. So just get off the rails and just freaking dive in, man, and send it. If you're a back player, that's one thing you could do, and that's one thing J-Rab's very good at. Like, be that dominant gun battler. Like you could be one of those bigger dudes that stay in the back, but like take initiative, freaking battle your ass off, and like use that. Like battling is such an underrated thing in our sport, and there's potential, and that's why the Russians are really good. So Just do what you're good at and freaking keep grinding.
Send it. Send it.
Send it. I like it.
Yeah, dude. I love it, man. Well, I can't wait to see you soon. Dalton, thank you so much for coming on. I know you got to go and, battle it out this evening with the inmates in there.
Yeah.
God bless you, dude. And stay safe.
Hopefully I don't get stabbed between now and...
Bro, come on. Bro. No,
knock
bro.
on some wood.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude, stay safe. We love you. We love your family. Cannot wait to see you guys soon. And thank you for coming on the show, brother.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, baby. And real quick for all the listeners, you guys can find Dalton on Instagram at Dalton Vanderbyl. Is that it? Is there 24 at the end of it?
No, it's just...
Is it Bile or Bill?
It's Bill. Well, I say Bill, but my family actually says Bile. Just whatever you want. Just don't call me
Vandergriff.
Bag.
Vanderblow. Vanderblow. All right, everybody. At Dalton Vanderbilt. Love you, dude. Can't wait to see you. Ty, love you too. Love you
dude,
guys.
Let's keep rocking.
Love you guys.
Everybody
man.
go out, get in some sunlight, drink some water, enjoy your life.
Be healthy, be happy. Yeah, baby.
That's
right,
it,
guys.
dude.
Love
Peace.
you guys.
Peace. Love you, brother. Yes, my dude Dalton is the man. And thank you so much to all of you guys out there who continue to support the PTG podcast. Play the Game is nothing without you, and we are truly, eternally grateful for every one of you. Thank you for sharing the show with everybody on your platforms. Thank you for all the amazing feedback, the comments, the messages. We truly appreciate you. And if you ever want to connect with us, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram, Facebook, on our YouTube channel. Our Instagram is Play the Game Podcast. Our YouTube channel is Play the Game. And our Facebook is PTG Podcast. So feel free to reach out to us. We love you and cannot thank you guys enough for everything you do. Man, what a great guy Dalton is. Such a funny character. And we just cannot wait to get back to work and get to World Cup and win this tournament. We're having so much fun with the process. And we're stoked to have Dolly back on the team. If you want to support the show, you can head over to ptgpodcast.com, become a supporter of the show there. We have all the podcasts, all the YouTube channel shows. You can have some information on all of our partners. We also have our PTG store there with some new merch that we just put up on there with a new winter coat for the winter time. And we will be adding some more products on there for the winter time as well. Huge shout out to our Patreon supporters. You can become a supporter of the show and become a Patreon supporter as well there. And we give you content that you can only get by becoming a Patreon supporter, specialized content where we give you just the inside workings of how we process paintball. You also get 20% off on all of the PTG merch, whether it's on ptgpodcast.com or through our Instagram, Facebook. We're selling things on there as well. So if you're a Patreon supporter, you get that exclusive content and you get 20% off on all the PTG merch. Huge shout out to ConstantPursuit.com. Thank you, Constant Pursuit. They're the ones that designed our website, and it is phenomenal. We love it, and it works great. Rusty Glaze takes care of us, and he is just the best guy ever when it comes to building websites and taking care of everything that we need to have it updated and ready for you guys. If you're a paintball field or a store, hit up ConstantPursuit.com. Drop him a line and get your field or store dialed in with a new website through Rusty Glaze. He's always there to help, and he's just an amazing guy, so support him on that. Like I said, if you ever need anything, hit us up on our social media. We will be having a lot of fun shows rolling into World Cup, and then we'll also have a fun World Cup recap whenever the tournament's all done, so we can't wait for that. And just thank you, everybody out there who supports us. We love you and appreciate you, and we hope you have a great week and a great weekend. Go get it.